tangerine. Le monde de tangerine. Le monde de tangerine. Le monde de tangerine. Le monde de tangerine.
Hey, bonjour tout le monde, ici Tangerine. Bienvenue dans mon monde, le monde de Tangerine. Et aujourd'hui, j'ai une star internationale du pop. Et oui, elle chante avec une voix incroyable. Je l'ai vue au party de Fashion Hero avec AJ McLean. Puis elle était là, elle chantait. Fait que j'ai pris une petite chance, puis je suis allée lui donner ma carte, puis je l'ai rencontrée rapidement, rapido presto. Puis les choses se sont concrétisées. Puis depuis, j'arrête pas d'écouter ces tunes, dont ma favorite, c'est Summer High. Je vous jure, c'est une tune super happy, ainsi que la majorité de ses chansons. Fait que je veux vous la faire découvrir. C'est Jordyn Sugar. Non, c'est pas pour rien, Sugar. Hein? C'est comme du sucre. C'est juste comme tellement doux dans la bouche et dans les oreilles. Donc, juste avant, je vous demanderais de vous abonner, bien sûr, à notre Patreon et notre YouTube Premium. Cela nous aide à créer du contenu de qualité. Je vous rappelle aussi que vous pouvez acheter seulement un podcast. Donc, si ça vous tente de juste avoir celui de Jordyn Sugar pour toujours dans votre bibliothèque, bien, vous pouvez aller sur le Patreon et choisir seulement celui-là. Alors ça, c'est disponible. Ainsi sur TikTok, on va avoir les séries bientôt et Jordyn Sugar va être là. Donc, je vous invite à le faire. Et c'est maintenant l'heure de la rencontrer. Je vous rappelle, cette fois-ci, ça va être un podcast en anglais. C'est mon premier. Fait que si je fais une couple d'erreurs, c'est juste parfait.
C'est ça.
Oui, fait qu'on rencontre Jordyn. Jordyn, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
I'm like so excited. I heard your voice for the first time at that party, and I could not believe that you're Canadian and that you're so easy to get in touch with. You're happy. You're like close to the people around.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a story with you.
Yeah, it's a big story, but it's crazy. We can get into it if you want.
But of course, we got all the time. That you can give me.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. In 2020, you sung one of the song of Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I did.
On TikTok. And then he reposted it.
Yeah. It was, it's quite a story. I mean, I wasn't public with my singing up until 2020. And actually no one knew I could sing. And I don't even think myself I knew I could really sing. And then
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I had no self-confidence, with my voice. Other things, yes. I was very confident, what I did, my basketball, and I knew I was a good drummer, but, voice was something else. And then I just started singing, and, my sister was really the one who pushed me to, go post, be active on TikTok. I wanted to, but I was like, I'm not good enough. And she was like, no, I think you're actually good enough. And she was like, go for it. And I posted a few Justin Bieber videos because I felt comfortable singing his stuff. He was definitely my idol. He still is, but he was really at that time my only artist I felt comfortable singing, and I knew I could do a really good cover.
He's really happy, he's fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. And so I just went for it. And I posted, and I posted a lot of Justin Bieber videos, and then he picked up on one. I mean, a lot of them went viral. Some of them got millions of views. I did impressions. I did other content, and people started noticing a very big similarity in our voice and our story. And they wanted to, I don't know, they just tagged him a bunch of times, and it got to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you saw your post, that he posted your post, you're like, your life just changed there. First of all, your confidence.
Yeah.
Everything. Where you're heading.
Everything changed. It was I think, I don't know exactly what I felt that day, that moment, because I just screamed, and I probably woke up all the neighbors, but it's fine. I was just,
it's your idol too.
It was out of body experience. It was really just I still am in shock because it doesn't feel real. Because how did Justin Bieber repost my video. Like, it doesn't make sense. He doesn't do that. And when he does do it, it's very rare. And so I just felt like, wow, like, if I needed anything to solidify like what I was doing, this is exactly what I needed, hearing it from him. And again, I don't know the reason he posted. I don't know if he liked the way I was singing. I don't know if it's because it kind of brought him back to that time in his life. Like, I don't even know the reason. He never reached out. Who knows?
No, he didn't
never
reach out.
reached out. Never. After that, it was just, he put me on his story and done. Like, I never heard from him.
Wow, did you try to contact
I
him?
did. I
Yeah.
replied. Well, I replied to his story just like, I cannot believe you just did this. Like, you have no idea. You just made my life. But, I mean, he gets millions of messages a day. I couldn't expect him to.
Well, I'm sure you're going to have a chance to talk to him because
I will.
With your voice and with all that's happening to you, the chances of you meeting him are pretty high.
They're there. I know it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of like getting there, but I know it's there.
But
I know.
You're a songwriter also?
Yeah, I mean, I do quite a bit. I'm a songwriter. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I play instruments as well. I've been a drummer since I was 3. Like, that's really where I started my like musical journey. At 3, people thought I'd be a drummer. So, and then I picked up guitar and piano later on in my life, more when COVID hit, when I had more time to like do it.
Oh my God! So
Yeah.
that's recent.
It's been very recent, but I love playing. I write most of my songs on piano or guitar because it's easier than the drums. Although I always have like a drum beat in my head, you know, because I was just born on that. But yeah,
Most people I meet that play drums are usually very like hyperactive. Mm-hmm. You don't seem to be hyperactive.
yeah. Well, I think I'm more chill. I'm more like, you know, laid back. I don't know. I am very hyper when it comes to certain things, but I tend to just be chill, especially when I'm, you know, I don't know. It depends on the day, and it's just, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm tired a bit, but no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm a hyper person. I think there's definitely times where I am, but no, I'm mostly just chill and yeah.
So
really.
in 2020, you started playing new instruments, and
Yeah.
did you write some songs while we were confined?
Yeah, so that's where I really started my songwriting. I did less of it at the beginning, but now I do it like constantly. So I did write like a song back in 2020 that hasn't been released because there hasn't been anything to it, but that was like my first go at songwriting, and people seemed to really like it. It was on the guitar, very simple, about kind of the story about just, you know, stop letting the fear get to you and just go for your dream, because like
Wow.
anything's possible, right?
That's what happened to you, right?
Well, that's
So-
why I wrote the song. I write what I know because I don't want to be like writing about something I don't know, because it doesn't make sense, you know? It's like I write what I know, and that's what I do best.
Wow. How old are you right now?
I'm 20.
You're 20. Wow.
Yeah.
So much ahead for you. It's like incredible. You're from Toronto.
Originally, yeah.
And when did you move here?
I was born in Toronto. I moved here when I was 9 years old, so I've been here for 11 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. And I want to know about the French.
You have to ask. It's
I
okay.
have to
I know.
ask now.
Don't worry about it.
Because I thought you're like, I'm like, she can't be living in Montreal for a long time if she doesn't speak the French that well.
You know what?
I gotta ask.
And the sad part is that I did go to like a French immersion in Toronto. So I kind of started at a young age with the French. I just think that it never stuck because my parents are English. My whole family is English. I mean, they know French, but it's not like something we do at home. Like, we don't speak. I don't watch anything. I don't watch my shows in French. My friends are all English. My school is English.
I'm going to tell you the best secret. That's how I learned Spanish.
Yeah.
Get a French boyfriend.
Yeah. But honestly, I think that no, it just never stuck. It was never part of my life on a day-to-day. And I had my French class in school, but I mean, once a week doesn't cut it.
No,
And
of
especially
course.
when you have to use Google Translate to like do your work, because like it's just not in your life, so you don't see it enough. You know, if
Yeah.
it's not there, it's
You don't
kind of out of
need
sight,
it
out of
that
mind.
much. But I'm always like wondering if it's hard for an English person around Montreal to get around. Like, do you meet a lot of people that don't
No.
speak?
You know,
don't
it's funny.
speak the English?
No. No. I mean, maybe
surprised.
maybe like a few people, and as I, you know, do more of, as I get into more of my career, I'm definitely seeing, like, in the Montreal side, a lot more French, and like you have to, you know, like French podcasts or like French stuff like this that maybe, like, you know, I have to get into, but I'm not really in that world of like the French side of the industry. I'm more like, you know, so I don't really need it. And, you know, I'm not planning on doing a French song, and, you know,
No.
my job is English. I mean, what I do is, you know, everything.
Yeah, because you're, you know, all your idols
Right.
are all people from, you know, the States, and they're like,
Exactly.
you know, like Taylor Swift,
Right.
like Justin Bieber,
They're
all
all-
the pop stars, right? And
Justin is Canadian, no?
Yes, Stratford. He's from Stratford, Ontario. Yeah.
but you have such a pop voice. It's amazing. And I can't believe that it took you so long to know that you could sing.
I don't know. It's I don't know, if the confidence isn't there, it really blocks you mentally, you know? It's like anything. If you don't think you're good at something and your brain's like, no, it doesn't matter who tells you anything else. Like, you're really just stopping yourself. And I think that that's what happened. No matter how good I thought I was, I didn't think I was ever good enough. I kind of needed reassurance. Like, my sister's like, you're good. My friends are like, oh, you are kind of good. And then when I posted on TikTok is when I really got the feedback, like, wow, you are good. And obviously I was like, the more people say it, the more you believe it, right?
Yeah,
and then you get something like the Justin Bieber story, and it's like really a confirmation that you're on the right path, or like that you're, you know, maybe you are good at this. And I think I just needed like that reassurance from somebody, and to get it from him was like really special.
In your head though, that's such an importance. Like, I used to do like emceeing in bars and stuff like that. And when you get into or a stadium, and it's full of people, you got to believe yourself that first that you're good, or else it's going to be so hard to make everybody else believe that you're good. So it's the first step.
Yeah.
But of course, the reassurance from the other people, right?
Yeah.
It feels good that you're on the right path.
Hell yeah.
But then after that, it come how did it go? Like, to be on the Fashion Hero. How, like, what's the chronological?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy. So again, I started posting. I worked with Vito Loprano, who was the former executive producer and talent manager of Celine Dion. So I worked with him.
But he called you? What?
Yeah, it was kind of like a story with. It just, through connections, we met. And we started working together, and we produced a couple songs together, and we my song was on Virgin Radio. My first single that I put out got on Virgin 95.9, so it was really cool. And then we released a bunch of songs. We have 7 out now. And then it was through a contact of a contact. They saw me on Justin Bieber's story. They saw I was growing. I was 18 at the time. They saw I was growing, like, you know, a young artist growing, you know, in the industry. And they reached out saying, we love your content. We love what you do. We love your story, and like your message of like empowering people through your story.
Yeah.
And so they're like, this is perfect for our concept that we have for our show, The Fashion Hero, where it's all about empowering people to be like their best selves, and like, you know, inner beauty beats anything.
Yeah, it's like real people becoming real models.
Exactly.
Right?
Because like the model, the word model has changed so much in the last like 10 years, I want to say. Like,
wow.
You know, it's not the same as it was, you know, 20 years ago.
The body positivity movement is very strong.
Yeah.
And you know, accept yourself as you are, and even like all the clothing company, the lingerie, they're all saying as soon as they get, you know, a regular type body, like somebody like an everyday, they sell even more.
Yeah.
you know,
well, they're promoting all types of body sizes and body types, and it encourages anybody to feel confident with who they are. You know, I can be a plus and still be a model, and that's like encouraging, you know. So I think that this show definitely represents that. And then I have a song called "Good in My Shoes," which basically is like, I'm good with who I am, I'm confident with myself, I'm good in my own skin. So they love the song, and they're like, this would be a great theme song for our show.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so they're like, we want it. So it's the theme song for the fashion hero now. Good in My Shoes, a new kind of beautiful. And you'll hear it if you watch it. It's on Paramount Plus Canada. The fashion hero, you'll see between every word a commercial is supposed to be, it ends with it's a new kind of beautiful, and then it comes back and it says it again, and it's just like the intro. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and to work with AJ McLean, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so they reached out to you?
They reached out through a contact, and they're like, we want you to be the Fashion Hero Kids host. And
that was the first, it wasn't like, you're a mentor, right, on the Fashion Hero second season.
Yes, season 2.
Yeah.
Filmed in South Africa.
Yeah. That must have been crazy.
I mean, to just go to South Africa, to somewhere where I never thought I would have to go for work. You know, I knew it was more like a vacation spot or something, and then you go and you're like doing a show, and you're staying at like the Sun City Resort, the Lost Palace, and like that's where they filmed like the Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore movie, like Blended. So I watched that movie like a million times, one of my favorite like comedies, and like now I'm there like living in it. And for a week, I got to film. The episode of the Fashion Hero Kids, and then the music video to my song "Good in My Shoes." And like, it was just a week of like one of the best experiences, literally ever.
Okay, so your job on the Fashion Hero was to show the contestants how to dance on your...
So there was two kind of roles on the show. So the first one being the Fashion Hero Kids host. Yeah. So it was a bit different than the adults portion, because they had only flown down the 2 winners of the Fashion Hero Kids, one boy, one girl. And so they flew them down, and they were on one segment of one episode, episode 7, the episode that I mentored, just saying their story, like, hey kids, like, get out there, be confident, just a younger generation saying it to their age group. And it's, you know, and I was the host for them. So I met them, I got to mentor a little bit with them, tell them my story, encourage them to encourage others.
Wow, you definitely fit the role. Because you know, 20 years old and natural looking also. You know, you got this beautiful young teenage going on. Yeah. So and the words that you're coming out with in your music and the positivity is great for the kids, right?
Yeah.
Was it fun to work with kids?
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I mean, it's cool. It was just only 2 kids really, but it was just cool to meet them and see how like confident they are, and they were great on camera, and they had a great message. And so it was cool to like see the younger generation, especially now with like all social media standards and like, you know, all that stuff. They were really like confident with who they were, and to just show that to the younger generation, where I feel is probably not as confident because of, you know, they're trying to live up to these standards on social media, which is horrible. Because
don't you think it's changing?
It is changing, but I feel like social media too is also a really toxic place where people, you know, there's so many filters, and people can do really whatever. And I mean, you see it all the time. People don't look the same on camera as they do in person, because, you know, they change, and kids see that, but they don't see the other side. And so they're like, oh, she's so, you know, why does she always looks good? Her hair's always done, her makeup. And then you see her in person, it's like a filter, and they don't actually look like that. But it could be really toxic for kids at a really young age to see all that stuff and be like, I want to look like them. But then they actually don't even look like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's starting to happen. So to see like 2 kids that felt really good with who they were was really like, it was really cool. Yeah.
It's crazy, these filters. I can't believe it. I don't use them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't, because I want people to recognize me, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time, but No, but if I want to talk about the other side, I was a mentor on episode 7, basically sharing my story to the adults of that show, of that episode. Like, I am living my dream, doing what I want to do. You guys can do that too. So I was also for the kids and also for the main show. And so my episode was filming a music video. So how good in your shoes do you feel filming a music video? How much can you express yourself in dancing, in song? And so we all had to learn to dance. And if you watch the music video, you'll see like all the contestants dancing, and they're a part of the song and just really being themselves, which is what the song's about. That was my role for episode 7. So I was,
Was there a choreography?
There was a choreographer. She was amazing. And she taught the contestants how to dance, and I kind of did my own thing because that's what I felt good doing. Just being myself and just kind of vibing with the music. And I needed more dance lessons than 4 hours because my dancing has to get better. But the contestants had a whole dance, and I kind of just did my own thing. If you watch them, I'm kind of just doing my own thing, and the dancers are in back of me doing the choreography, and I had to eliminate the two, I don't want to say the worst because that's not fair, but the two ones that didn't necessarily perform as well as the others. So I had to actually eliminate them from the show, which is like real life, it's not just like a fake show. It's reality. So,
but it must be hard. To choose.
Well, I kind of had help from the judges, the coaches, I should say, and everything else. But it was definitely a hard decision to it takes heart to go up there and break someone's heart,
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Did you spend a lot of time with them? Because sometimes when you do spend
it's harder.
few days,
it's harder.
You got the emotions that come with it. And
I didn't spend a terrible amount of time with them because there was just really no time to spend with them. I got to see them. I was only there for 7 days. So I really, when they weren't on set, the contestants, they were, doing their own thing. And I was also doing my own thing. I had a bunch of stuff to do when I was there. No, I didn't get to know them that much, but I definitely got to speak to a lot of them on set, especially where it was like a 16-hour day. So we had a lot of
Wow.
Yeah, it was really hot.
Was it like that for the 7 days? Were you totally busy and couldn't enjoy it?
For 3 days, it was pretty crazy. Like early mornings, 4 a.m. wake up, hair, makeup, the whole thing. But no, for the rest, I kind of enjoyed myself. We went on a safari. We did a few things, so it was really cool.
Oh, there's lots of super wild animals there. Huge.
Yeah. There was some crazy. The safari was it's not like your normal park safari in Quebec. This thing was real and it's real life, and it's their habitat. It's where it's their home. So you're marching on them, and so you're kind of in their life, and it was really cool. It was huge and it was gorgeous, and the animals were there, and you don't know when they're gonna show up because they're not in a cage. It was all just they're wild, and it was really amazing to see all the animals and just be in a different side of the world that it's so cool.
I see people on social media that travel there, and from their room, they've got a room full of windows and they see wild animals. It's amazing.
Yeah, there was a few monkeys and birds kind of outside the rooms.
Hippopotames.
Oh yeah, they were pretty big too. Hippos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I was looking for the word.
No, don't worry. I'm very good at understanding French, but I can't speak it back.
But I don't doubt it.
So if you ask a question in French, I'll respond in English.
You know what, Jordyn? My best friend he's from Ottawa. We've been friends forever, more than your age. More than you. We've been friends, and he would come every weekend, and I speak French with, with my husband, with my kids, whatever. He understands everything I say, but he cannot say a word. Is the same thing, but he's got a hard time with other people that talk. It's he's used to my to my
Yeah.
like the way I
Cool.
talk and my
cool.
intonation.
But you
That's
lived
cool.
in Vancouver, no, Tangerine? You lived a bit in Vancouver.
Yeah,
You told
I
us
was in
the other day.
Vancouver for a while. Yeah, I was in Vancouver for a while. If I spend a lot of time with English people, I become like almost English speaking.
Oh, amazing.
but,
There you go.
But now, like, I have like it's like you. I'm like around French speaking people all the time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my English is kind of rusty.
No, it sounds fine. Don't worry. You're sounding good. You're sounding good. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I need reassuring now. No.
Let's
It's
ask
my turn.
TikTok. Let's ask TikTok what they think.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think
No,
TikTok?
hey, my God, they don't. Yeah.
I don't even know who's here on my TikTok. Hey, everybody, welcome.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that at the break, But now the first single that you took out, was it before you went on the fashion?
Yeah,
Leaves
yeah.
Me?
So I had
It leaves me.
I had 3 songs out before the fashion hero.
Wow. So is Caroline? Is she the one that Caroline Bernier?
Caroline.
She's the one that called you.
She's the one that reached out, and she was like, "We're looking for someone young to be the mentor or to be the host for the Fashion Hero Kids." And we saw Jordyn, and we think she's a really good fit for this role. And if she's up for the part, like, we want her to have it.
How long did you have before you actually took the flight and to get ready for that?
Yeah, I want to say maybe a year and a half.
Oh, so you had time to get ready mentally and practice.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh yeah,
that's quite the job to host a show.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm very good off the cuff. Like, you put me in a room and I can kind of figure out what to do in the situation and how to like handle myself. But no, I mean, it was definitely an experience, and we had kind of a day of rehearsal, so it wasn't all like right now. But there was a lot of times where they're like, we're filming, and you kind of just had to be there and do your part. So yeah.
What was the most nervous part for you?
Most nervous part. I don't really get nervous. I think
No, were you
no.
like mostly?
I think my most nervous part was when I was performing with AJ McLean,
Yeah.
because it was not even nerves, but it was just like I'm sitting next to this like absolute legend, and like, he's just so cool. And because I did a song with him at the end of episode 7, I played guitar and he was singing. So I think it's more of like, don't mess up the guitar, because it was all one take, and like I didn't want to have to redo it. And so I had to just do everything, and I was like, it's all in the moment. It's all like, I just have to be there and like do what I know I can do. And I got to play the guitar with him, and I think that was just like, because it was a lot, like there was no like messing up. So I was just like, I gotta go. I just gotta be there. And I had to play the guitar, and it went well. But it was more just like,
You didn't want to mess up.
You don't want to mess up with AJ, you know?
Well, I don't think you want to mess up with anybody, but of course, if someone you look up to.
Yeah, it was just, I was like, yeah. It's
He
a Backstreet
seems
Boy.
like such an easygoing guy.
Oh, yeah. We had a great time. I mean, I met him, like, we were up in his, like, suite in the hotel, and, like, we were rehearsing our part, like, with the guitar, and he was just so cool, and we had a great time, and he was, it was just, he was really awesome.
I heard that he wanted you to co-host, right?
He mentioned it. We never spoke about it. I know he mentioned it, so I'm like, okay, he's leaving the door open for it. I'm always down to, host a show.
Yeah, and it was filmed, and like a few times.
Yeah.
That he said it, so he's gonna live up.
Yeah, I'm hoping he sticks by it. You never know, and I'm definitely excited for what can come out of that. If something does, I would love to co-host with him. I mean, why not? It'd be amazing, right?
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah.
I was wondering, before, and I used to work there, people would do a lot of video clips. It was kind of the main thing when you were producing, and especially in pop music. Mm-hmm. Are you still in video clips and all, or is it something of the past?
Video clips in terms of music videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, music videos are still really big, and I have 3 out. Yeah.
So still today?
Yeah, it's still a big deal.
And where do you propose them usually? Just on your own site, or there's a like new place that you can see it?
Music videos, normally YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube or like my website that will lead you to like YouTube and all that. Yeah, so.
With it, is it like 300,000 views in like a year or something on your video?
Yeah,
on
Leaves Me.
Leaves
Me
yeah.
was my first video, and it did really well for itself. And yeah, it was a first kind of go, and it was all one take. If you notice, it was all done in one shot with no editing. So that was a challenge, but it was. I was doubted, and I said I'm gonna do it because I know I can do anything that I want when I set my mind to it. And so I said I can do one take, and they were like, I don't know, you know how hard not even the most professional can do one take. And I'm like, I can do one take, and I did it. And I mean, wow. I don't think it was more like, oh, I can do it, so I'm gonna prove it. I think it's just like, I know I could do it because I feel like it was just easy. It's easier. I don't know. I felt like it was natural for me to just do everything in one take. And even now when I do my videos, everything's really one take. And I try to not do cuts. If I don't get in the first try, I'll just redo it. But I mean, that whole video took 12 tries. And the 12th clip is the last one that I did. And that's the one you see in the video. I just gave it my all. And I was like, I can do this. And I
yeah, but it's got to reflect yourself now. Yourself with, you know, that we're not all perfect, and that we can, you know, that one take is good. You know, it doesn't have to be like, no, like your hair doesn't move, or, you know, it's got to be real now.
Yeah.
That's what people want, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's, and totally. I think just for me, I like doing one take. I think it's more natural. I think it's easier. For me, at least for that video, I knew I could do it. I knew I can go from the drums to the guitar to the piano. I know I can roam the house because it wasn't something like, I don't know. For me, it just came natural. Like it felt natural to me to do it all in one take. And I wanted like the cool shot of like the whole house in one shot. And I mean, it worked. So it was really cool.
So how about your social life? How did it change since you got all this?
Social life, like, I don't know. I mean, I definitely have less time to, like, you know, do what I, like, hang out with friends or, like, whatever. But I definitely don't make it an excuse to not see them. I hang out with my friends, like, if you're talking about friends, right?
Yeah.
Like, friends, family. I really see them a lot. Like, I really spend time. There was a really big point where I kind of not forgot, that sounds awful, but my career became so, I guess I got so consumed, like, oh, I'm doing so much that, like, oh, I can't. And then I kind of realized, like, but I'm still young. I could still have fun with my friends. Like, I'm not at the point where I'm, like, busy to the point where I can't do anything else, you know? So I said, I'm going to reserve, like, 1 or 2 days a week where I can hang out with my friends on a night, you know, and go out and still be, like, 20, you know, even though I'm doing all this other stuff. And I think it's important to have, like, a work-life balance because I wouldn't be able to, like, do what I'm doing without, like, I need to live to write songs. I need to go out to write music. If I'm like sitting in my house, you can't write music. You need to experience stuff and be alive to like write about it.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not doing that stuff, like there's no content to write about, you know?
Yeah.
So I realized like I need to get out. I need to do more. I need to experience life to write a good song.
Yeah, and writing is like therapy, right? My son is a songwriter too, and he always says that. He goes, you know, I don't need a psychologist. I just need to play, you know, write my songs.
Write music.
And every time that he feels something, he writes about it. And sometimes it's kind of funny because I'll listen to his music, and then I live something through the music that he's living that he didn't talk to me about.
That's right.
And that's incredible. Does your family feel that also?
Yeah, I think it definitely, I think my music's really relatable. Again, my message, the way I write songs is keeping it universal, but also personal to myself and like authentic to like the true meaning. So I make a song, but I try to not mention a person necessarily, like a gender or like a name. I want to keep it like where you can listen to the song and put your story in it, but then it's also personal to myself.
And
so,
put yourself into it, like because you want people to think, oh my God, I lived that
like
through my,
it could be my
live
song.
life.
Like
Yeah,
I
it
could have
be.
wrote this. You know what I'm saying? And so I that's what I want people to feel when they listen, that they can be themselves and put themselves in my lyrics, and just feel the way I felt singing it or writing it or whatever.
Yeah. So I guess when you're going out with your friends, trying to get new ideas for songs.
It's not even like trying new ideas. Yeah, but yeah. But it's more just living and to get, I mean, if you don't go through, like, let's say heartbreak, you can't write a heartbreak song. And if you don't go, you can only get to heartbreak by like going out and like having you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just sit in your room and feel heartbreak.
Agreed.
Right?
When with the confinement, it was hard, like even you get dogs didn't see anybody.
Right.
So when now they see people come in, they're like
freak
crazy and freak out, right?
COVID dogs.
You have to, but we have to go out. We have to see people. We have to experience stuff. But it must have changed so much from before to now, because when you're going out, people are recognizing you.
Yeah.
Did some friends like stop hanging around with you because they feel like they're like pointed at or looked at too much when they go out?
No, I don't think I guess I am very humble. I don't really get like, oh my God, you're Jordyn. I mean, I get it here and there, but it's not like to the point where like I'm getting stopped on the street like by anybody like all the time and being like, oh. I think it's just over time, I guess it will happen the more you get, more you go into it. But for right now, I think my friends know who I am. And I don't think I've changed so drastically where they're like, you're not even the same person anymore. Like, they know who I am. I've been the same. Music has always been a part of my life. Now it's just bigger. And I mean, they love my music. They're very supportive. I don't think I've changed that much. I mean, I've definitely changed some things, but I don't think it's anything where they're like, I don't even know you anymore. I don't think they don't feel like that, because I've kept the same friends since I've had the same group of friends since I was like 10 years old.
Wow.
So they've really known me for a long time. And so if they really saw like a drastic change, they probably would have been like, you're not the same. But I know how to put music to the side when I'm with them and kind of just be the same person. Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time with the fans when they come and see you, or like I quite take the time. Like I really like talking with fans, and my husband gets really upset at me. He's like,
you gotta
stop
talk to the fans.
talking with them,
No, I love talking with the fans. I think, well, they're the reason I'm doing this. Like, without them, like, I wouldn't be doing this. And so it's more like a responsibility. It's not who I am to say no. I'm very inviting. I'm very like friendly. And like, if they want to say hi, like come up to me, say hi. I'm not going to say no, I really want to have that one-on-one connection. And even on TikTok, like I go live pretty much daily. And
daily?
Yeah, for hours,
Wow.
for hours and hours most days, like 3 to 5 hours, sometimes like
8 to 5 hours.
Yeah, they know. They can tell you.
My God.
We built.
You thought I was working you, Tangerine? Huh? 3 to 5 hours a day on TikTok. I tip my hat to that.
Yeah, you see, you said that to my producer now. He's going to have me on TikTok 3 to 5 hours.
No, it's TikTok. It's fun because it's not just TikTok anymore. It's a community that we built together, and you start getting the really, really good fans that stick with you for, let's say, a 3-hour TikTok live, and they're there, and they're with you, and they're starting to know who you are, and I'm starting to learn about their life, and it's more of a community rather than a follower or a fan. Like, I don't look at them as fans. I look at them as they're part of this journey with me, and they're the ones who stick with me through a live, like let's say a 3 to 5 hour live, and they want to know about me. They want to know what I'm doing, and they're here for the ride, and they're more than just, oh, you're a fan. No. They're like a community, and without them, the live wouldn't be as fun. Like we actually have a friendship that we have, and you know, we laugh, and it's kind of like it's like a social friendship, like a social media friendship that we all built.
Yeah, because some people just come back and you know them now.
Oh,
and
like,
it's like
you have your main like 15, 20, 30 people that are constantly there and like want to know what you did today, and like they're all just so amazing, and they're probably watching right now. I can't see, but I definitely know that the main ones are there.
wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work on the social media, but I guess music now is that. It's really important to have a good community on social media to be able to
Totally.
To get a lot of
Like exposure, like more publicity, exposure.
That's way.
Yeah,
But pour que ta musique devienne populaire aussi, because now if you don't have followers, your music is
exactly.
Like, it's kind of like an extra job nowadays.
Yeah,
it's like you can't just write music and play music. You need to be on social media. You need to be a marketing person also.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it's changed.
Yeah. And I think that, I've been going live on TikTok pretty much every day for a year. I started doing like a daily live for a year. Like it's just become part of my schedule and routine. And it's just so much fun. And at first, you know, you didn't really have a team. You kind of just had, you know, your people would come in, and just, if they wanted to be like stay on your live, they would. If not, they would disappear. But then over a year, you start gaining the really like loyal, supportive ones who want to be there and want to watch you go live. And there's been so many times just somebody's like, "You're not live today. I hope you're like okay. Like normally you're live." And or they text me going, "Are you going live? Like I want to make sure I'm available. Like I want to see." Like it's becoming that. It's not just a live anymore. It's like, I guess what I can say is like I feel like I've grew a community where everyone can feel safe on my live, and if somebody's having a bad day, they can always come into my live and I can make it better, or we can make it better.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
that's very sweet.
I think
feel that it.
And I think they know that. Yeah, I think they know that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's been an hour already, so we're gonna have to take a break. So, you know, this is like the end of our free podcast.
Let's go.
Then the rest, if they want, they can have the rest of the podcast, buy it, or get subscribe to my channel.
Okay, so we're done with the TikTok live.
No.
Oh, that can stay.
For the live, yes,
okay,
of course.
perfect.
They can stay, and we will have some cuts for you also for the other hour. But now, for the people at home, how can they reach you, and what's in for them in the next few days? My God.
Weeks,
Pourquoi
months.
là, je manque mon anglais tout d'un coup. And I was doing fine,
it's all good.
And then
No worries. So don't worry about it. Where you can find my music is very simple. My name is Jordyn Sugar. That's JORDYNSUGAR. So you guys can find me on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Amazon Music, on SoundCloud, literally any streaming platform. YouTube, go sub. My Instagram, my TikTok. We have X, we have Threads, we have...
You're everywhere.
Literally anywhere. Just look up Jordyn Sugar and it won't be too hard to find me.
Yes, thank you. And we will see you after the break, so stay with us.
Thank you so much.
Restez avec nous. Jordyn Sugar va être avec nous encore un petit bout, nous parler de tous ses projets futurs, ainsi que plusieurs trucs qu'elle a vécu en Afrique du Sud. J'ai bien hâte d'apprendre ça. Alors, restez avec nous. À bientôt. Ici Tangerine. Je le sais que t'aimes mon podcast. Ben là, tu veux rien manquer. Tu dois t'abonner au YouTube Premium. Quand t'es membre Premium, t'as accès à tout le podcast jusqu'à la fin. On le sait, la fin, c'est toujours ce qu'il y a de plus juteux, croustillant. Là, tu vas pouvoir l'écouter sans publicité pour seulement 5$ par mois. Si j'ai un événement en plus, tu rentres VIP, puis on prend une petite photo. cherches un studio pour produire ton audio, ton vidéo ou même ta photo, j'ai le studio pour toi. T'as juste à arriver ici avec tes idées, ton invité et tout le tralala. Puis nous, on s'occupe du montage, de le diffuser sur toutes les plateformes live. Puis toi, tu repars avec ta carte SD, toute prête à être diffusée. Il reste juste à nous payer, puis on charge vraiment pas cher. Fait que qu'est-ce que t'attends? Contacte-nous.
Le monde tangerine. Le monde tangerine.
Comment nous voir mon balado et mon beau décolleté? Ben ça, c'est sur patreon.com, le monde de Tangerine. Mais là, tu veux m'écouter en t'entraînant, cuisinant, conduisant ou même en baisant. Le monde de Tangerine est maintenant disponible sur toutes les plateformes de balado. On parle de Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, même Alexa peut le trouver pour toi. Qu'est-ce que t'attends? Rentre dans mon monde.
Le monde tangerine. Le monde tangerine.
Comme de retour avec Jordyn Sugar, la pop star, du Canada, du Québec. Moi, j'en reviens pas. Elle a tellement de talent et je suis super contente de l'avoir avec nous. Jordyn, I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like
Merci.
it's crazy. All these songs that you're writing are happy and some talk about love.
Mm-hmm.
How's your love life as a 20-year-old? How is it now? It must be hard. Like,
Well, look, I mean, it's not my priority right now. Like,
Of
this is
course.
my priority, and that comes with time, and it's definitely not what I'm looking for right now because I have so much other stuff that, like, I don't have time for it, in, like, the most, like, it's kind of selfish, but, like, I don't want to have something else to, like, have to worry about when I have just myself and, like, my work to do. Like, I want to have time with my friends and stuff, and I couldn't even imagine having, like, somebody else. Like, right now, it's not about that. Like, I know I'm 20 and, like, whatever, but it's really a time just for me to grow my career. And I know that if
Yeah.
I get involved with someone, it could take me steps back or
well,
take
it
me away
depends-
from music.
yeah,
Exactly.
Who you're involved with,
Right.
because the
No, I
idea
understand.
of being in a couple is to have someone that helps you grow,
Yeah.
not
y-
someone that takes you down, and that's hard. It's hard to find at your age.
And yeah, it's hard.
That's the thing.
It's hard to find, but it's also I don't think it would be fair for the other person because, like, I will get busy, and it's just part of the career that I chose. Like any other job, it gets busy, and it's a lot of travel, and it's a lot of away from home and touring. Like touring, you're on the road, and if they're not with you, it's not. I just don't see it happening in anywhere this year. Like when my
Yeah.
career's in its building stages, I'm not at the point where I could just be like, oh, I want to stop and just do whatever I want. Like if I don't go now, what am I doing it for? So right now I just need to like grind at like what I'm
Agreed.
doing, and then when I get to the point where I could have time, then definitely it'll be like it could be, something that I look into. But right now, it's not that I'm looking, it's just that it's not in the cards. It's not something
No.
I want,
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I see where you're at.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to find somebody, especially now with all the like internet stuff. Like people are not going out anymore. I guess with the job that you're gonna be doing, you're gonna have to meet somebody face to face. It's not gonna be
There's a
like an
lot.
internet thing.
No, and there's a lot, yeah.
It's not gonna be a Tinder.
Yeah, no,
thing.
no, and no.
No.
It's gonna have to be somebody who understands what I'm doing, and I think a lot of people, they still don't really understand to a full degree what I'm doing, especially people who don't understand the music industry, which even I don't fully understand it, right? If you're not in it, it's hard to understand or get the full picture. But I think that like a lot of, especially my friends, like they don't really get to a full degree what I do, and they don't understand how big it could be. Like I think big, right? I don't think small, and I think that I see where I could be and where I want to be and where I will be, and to them they don't understand that to a full degree. So to make somebody understand where I want to be and how much work and like other stuff it takes to get there, I feel like sometimes people don't understand like what I need to do and how big I want it to be. You know what I mean? Like traveling and touring
tell me what's your day like? What's your day like to get where you want to go?
Yeah, it's a lot of writing and TikTok, not even TikTok, but like marketing and videos and content and going live and recording and doing podcasts like this, or doing shows. Like this week I have a photo shoot and a show and a podcast, and I was just in Ottawa the other day doing a show. So it's definitely filling up my schedule, you know, and I don't want to have to worry about somebody else, or in terms of like the love life kind of standpoint, but also like sometimes my friends don't understand why I'm doing it. They're like, oh, it's just a podcast, but like they don't understand how big it could be and like what it is necessarily. I just think if you're not in it, you don't really see, or you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're working all the time for the future,
right?
And it could be the break, it could be the moment, and you don't want to screw it up because this could make a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
And it always does make a difference.
That's right.
Every little bit counts.
Everything you do.
And every little bit counts, and at one point it makes a big success.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So how do you see yourself? And how, you know, your project is on how many years? How do you see it? Because it went so fast. Like, wow.
This first half of the journey, or first whatever part of the journey, has gone really fast. It really has, since 2020, since COVID hit, really. It went really fast, and it was a good 3 years. I guess I see myself just continuing to do what I'm doing at like a grander scale, like, you know, working with AJ McLean and you doing stuff like that, and just getting more exposure and traveling and getting, you know, more people to see what I love to do, like my music, and building a wider audience and all that stuff. Yeah, really. I mean, I just see myself growing to the point where I'm a household name and everybody knows who, you know, Jordyn Sugar is, and they all like maybe know one or two of my songs, you know, and it's just, it brings them to a happier place. I mean, yeah, it's really.
What's your favorite song? In your songs, what's your favorite? You must have one that you're like.
Yeah, I think Summer High. I think Summer High is my favorite.
Me too.
And the new one coming out.
Yeah, when is it coming out?
We don't know yet, but very soon, probably 2-3 weeks.
And which is the one you like the least?
Oh. It's not that I like it the least. It's not fair, because I love all my songs. There's always one that like, you're going to be like, I don't know. And I hate to say it because I wrote it, but like maybe Stranger is my least favorite, and I hate saying that because it's not fair, because it's a really good song, but I have 6 incredible songs. How do you choose? I think Stranger is just, for me, it's a bit short, and I think it's there was room to do more with it, and I think I didn't give it its full potential at the time, maybe because I was like new at songwriting, and I think the other songwriter on the track is incredible. I think I don't know, it's really hard to say.
Remix it?
No, I don't even think it's about remixing. I just think I could have, I don't know, it's really hard to say. I mean, I love Stranger, but I think it's my least favorite, just because I think the storyline, there's less words. It's more of like a repetition. So when I'm doing it live, it's a lot of da 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 da. It's just a lot going on, and there's less of a. I don't know. I love all of them though. It's not even fair. Like It's not fair, because they're all really, really, to me, they're amazing, and I love all of them like a lot. I just think Stranger is a bit too short, and the da 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 is like half of it, so it could get repetitive. And I think that when you sit in the studio and you record, the songs all become repetitive. But
yeah, but can you imagine like some artists that play the same songs
and
forever, like the Rolling Stones? Like at one point, like you're on stage and you're like, oh my God, I'm tired of this song.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been playing this song forever.
They have a lot of good songs. You know, they have top Billboard hit in 60 years.
Yeah, but you're not the one playing them every show that you're doing for like 40 years, man.
Think of it if you're a one-hit wonder.
Oh boy, the only one.
Ice, ice, baby.
Like nobody gives a thing about whatever you do until you do your one-hit wonder. You know, that's so weird.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to be a one-hit wonder. but I think I don't think it's fair to say I like one least than the others. I think it's just and I don't have a problem singing my songs. I've sang them a lot. Like honestly, I've sang my songs hundreds of times each, and I guess finding new ways to bring them to life. I know it's the same lyrics, the same melodies, but even holding a note a little longer than the last time, or adding a little something to the song that's a little different each time can kind of make it more interesting. Oh, instead of I'm gonna do something else with this part, just so it's a little more. It's a little fun, but it also changes up for the audience that like when I post a video, it's not the same. Like they can listen to the track, but it's a little different. But it's not even. It's just if you know the song, you'll see a difference. And I think I try to change it up a little here and there, and I just have fun with it instead of being like so serious to like stick, because then it does become repetitive and like a robot, and like I don't want to be a robot, you know?
Yeah, and then you see how the crowd reacts to
a
new part, and sometimes the song changes so much with time.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. I get a lot of stand-up comedians that come here, and we talk about the way that they say the jokes and the timing and the intonation of the way that they say it. It's the same with a song, right? It grows with you.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it must be when you listen to what you recorded, it's like, you would re-record it differently all the time.
Yeah.
Are you unsatisfied with what was recorded?
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, a record is a record. It has to be done a certain way to...
You got to stop at one point.
You got to make it the way... You got to make it... There was a time where I wanted to change... even some notes and make them different, and then you kind of go back and you're like, but this is not a live performance. Live, I can change a little here and there, right? But when you're doing a record, it gotta be the way it was done, and it has to be the way a record's supposed to be. And if you change it too much and add too many runs or too many ups and downs, it's not going to be satisfying to listen to. It could be fun when you know the song and then, she just changed it. She added a couple of things here. Like, it's a bit different. It's a little more fun, and it makes me have a better time on stage when I'm more free to kind of do my song the way I want it. But no, I'm not upset with the way anything was recorded. I mean, I have a great sound engineer, Flav, he's here, and we work really well together at like making sure it sounds the way we want it to sound, and we do a great job of making it sound great. So I think people know that our music quality is pretty solid.
We have a question from the internet.
What will be your dream gig? Definitely Madison Square Garden. I think that's it's not really original, but it's yeah. Or is it Rock in Rio? One of the big things in Rio. Yeah, that's like 100,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
having everybody, like doing that is one thing, but doing that with everybody singing your lyrics,
that's something else. That's a different story. That's a moment.
Really, a moment.
And it doesn't even scare me, which is kind of weird.
No.
But
when you're there, when they decided to give you this spot, it's because you earned it, and because you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So of course you wouldn't have to be nervous about it, because it's your spot. What they wanted you there.
Yeah. No, look, I think I think it's crazy to think that like 3 years ago I was just like kind of doing it for myself, really in my basement, singing a song, and like I didn't really know what can come out of it, and now like I literally couldn't perform in one person, let alone myself, without being like, oh God. And now like I'm saying like here, like it would not even scare me to like go up in front of 100,000 people. Like honestly, like I did Strangers in the Night for 5,000 people, and I mean maybe a little nerves because it's like really normal, but in terms of when I got on stage, it all like fades. And, you know, I can really put myself anywhere and perform. And I don't think it even bothers me anymore. It's just so like in me to like do it. So
Is there anything about being a superstar that like worries you or scares you? Yeah.
Well, it's like anything, right? I think there's always like, oh, I'm scared to do this because of that. Like there's pros and cons for everything. And like, I guess what scares me is that like, I guess like seeing how my idols turned out and like what they went through, and like they started off the industry like kind of like me, like all like up in there like, having a great time, and then you see like their fall, right? And you see like how bad it got for them, you know, with just like everything. Like I watched all these documentaries not to kind of warn me of what could come, but just to be aware of like what is going on in the industry behind closed doors and like their experience. And you know, like I even look at like the Bieber story, and like he was such a happy kid, and now he goes back and says like filming that tour was like, or that tour was like the loneliest he ever felt. And like I guess it kind of worries me to like go through what they went through, like have the best time, and then you know people take advantage, or they think like, oh, I'll just do whatever. And I don't think that, because I do have a great team that's backing me and like a great support system, and I don't think they wouldn't let anything bad happen to me. But I guess the industry is just so like, it's so normal in the industry. Like I see it all the time, right, with like artists and stuff, where they go through like the worst time of their life because of how big they get, or like the fame gets to them. And
Yeah, there's a lot of artists, a lot of famous people that get really into the hard drugs and get really depressed.
Yeah, and that's, I guess what worries me is like, I don't think it ever happens to me, and then it could, because it happened to them and they said it would never get to them, and then it did. So it's like I don't want that moment to ever get there, because I don't think that's who I am to like get into all that stuff. And it's not part of my life now, and like it's never part of my life. But I guess like the industry is so, you never know, like you
Could be toxic.
you never know. Like they also probably said the same thing. I'm gonna remain humble and remain, you know, this, and now they're like, they say like I'm not that person anymore. Like I changed. And I guess what worries me is like changing with the industry and becoming like what I don't want to be, because I almost have to fit in, but that's not who I am. You know, I don't try to fit in. I try to just be myself, and like if you accept me, you accept me. If not, like I don't care. Like I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. If you get a team that believes in you and lets you be yourself and create, you know, creative the way that you want to bring out, that's the best, right?
That's what I have, and that's what I have. And they never put me in any situation I don't want to be in, because they obviously asked my permission through it all. But you never know.
The money, sometimes the money can
get to you.
Sell your soul, man.
I know, and that's what happens to a lot of other artists. So I'm just like, I guess what scares me is like I don't want to ever be in that situation where I feel like I'm under, you know, I have to be in that situation. I just don't want to be in that situation. I don't want my career to become, you know, toxic, or like, you know, and I know it happens with fame, and like the more followers you get, the more like crazy it gets, and you're watched through like a microscope, and you got to be really careful what you say and like what you do and how you portray yourself. But I mean, it's not, for me, it's about the music and about like making the best music for anyone to like be happy and like listen to and feel something. So it's not exactly about like the fame or like the money or like whatever. It's about like growing a community where we can all like listen to the music, and it's all like, you know, let the music bring us life, really.
It's kind of funny though that the social media and all this marketing and you know, being out there and people being out there, young people, can be so positive.
Right.
Like for you, it was so positive for you, and can be so negative for other kids, right? It's like, how, like, it's funny that they can turn out like this, like you're like a success story to you. You came out, you were on, you took your confidence, you went out there, sang for the first time, and it just brought you so much positivity, and other people will do the same and can be so negative for them. Some people can trash them like totally.
Yeah.
Did you have any negative comments on the social media, and how do you deal with it?
Yeah. I think negativity is stemmed from other things, I don't look at it as like, I like to believe that people have I like to believe in not even second chances, but almost just they're hating because they hate themselves, or they're feeling some type of jealousy, or maybe they see something in me where they're like, man, I wish I had that voice, so I'm just going to tell her she sucks so I feel better. Or
Did people say that you suck? Some people
it was more, no, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as much. I mean, you're still going to get the comment here and there saying, oh, you're off key. Oh, you're off note. And I'm just like, but I'm not, because I know I'm conscious of what I do, and I'm not going to post something if I sound bad. It sounds, I don't want to sound like, oh, I know I'm great, but I'm not going to post something if it's bad, or if it doesn't sound great, or if it doesn't.
If you're not happy with it.
If I'm not happy with it, and normally if I'm happy with it, it's probably because it's fine to post. And you might get the comment here or there oh, you suck, or oh, you're just whatever. They ramble on, and they don't even make sense. And then you look at their profile, and they have two followers. They have 2 followers. They don't even post videos of themselves, and you're like, hold on a second. So who are you? You don't even know. You don't even post videos of yourself. How do I take you seriously? How do I know who you are? Why do I care? And I even sometimes I'm live and people are like, no one cares what you're talking about. Move on. And I'm like, you don't have to be here if you don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's you move on. It's you're the one scrolling.
But I'm and
up.
I kind of and I take it really I kind of laugh at them. I guess if my whole page was consumed with hate, it would get to me anything, I try to avoid the hate because I don't think it's necessary, and I just don't think it's truthful. I work with.
It's good not to believe
the amount of recognition I've got from the people who matter.
Yeah,
is enough. Is enough.
Think that's the good point. It's the people who matter.
Yeah.
And most of people always, what I think they do is they focus only on the bad comments. Well, 9 to 1 good ones.
Yeah, I say that often to my guests here.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they get bashed on the social media, and then they're they come back to me and they're like, oh my God, these people, a lot of people are bashing, and I'm like, my God, you got
couple
1,000 likes, and you got 20 people that say stupid stuff.
Yeah,
and when you look at it, it's 0.02%.
It's nothing. And it doesn't even matter. I mean, you're always gonna have the 1 or 2 people who are like, you suck, and it's where are you? And sometimes we're live and and we're doing studio live with the mic, and I'm singing, and there'll be that one comment that's you only sound good because there's auto-tune, and I'm no, there's no auto-tune, that's reverb. You don't even know your stuff, you don't even know what you're talking about, and it's fine. I feel bad for you, but I also just so be it. So they think I'm using auto-tune. Is it really gonna destroy me? I'm literally not using auto-tune. I never have. I never really will. I don't need it. It's not my style. I don't like using it. If I needed auto-tune that badly, I probably wouldn't be a singer. It's just something that it doesn't get to me. I kind of just laugh, and people in the comments are like, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about, and Flava laughs saying you're not even using the right term.
Your community is helping you with the bullies, right?
Yeah. They I have my moderators on my TikTok that mute them out. So if someone's being really, really nasty, and just kind of keep you know, stabbing me with these comments. They'll be like, block, and then like he's blocked forever, or muted. You can't like type in the chat anymore, and then sometimes we'll mute them, and I'll give them like 5 minutes to be like, okay, this is what you're gonna get if you're gonna keep up your attitude, because it's not necessary. I don't like to promote negativity. I don't think it's necessary. And I think we go through enough negative in the world that, like, if you come to my live, it should be the one positive thing in the day. If anything, it's going to be something positive. And I think that, like, to have that negative comment, like, just remove you. Like, if you're not going to be positive, I'll just remove you. And I do give them a chance, because I believe that, like, maybe they're going through a bad day and this is their only time to, like, let it out. So I'd be like, look, if you're going to be negative, go somewhere else. If not, you're more than welcome to stay here, but please change your attitude, because we won't accept it. And then sometimes they'll write back, oh, I'm so sorry, I meant it as a joke. You know, you kind of get like, I'm so sorry, don't block me. Or sometimes they'll just keep going, and then we'll be like, remove, and like they're done, and they move on to the next, you know, streamer, and they say the same thing.
Yeah. I have a question that popped in my mind about the AI and music. It is,
We're just talking about
yeah,
that.
what's going on with that? Is it something that, like,
Very funny.
worries you, or you want to play with that?
No. Look, if I'm at the point where I want AI to release its own music of myself, then I probably am at the point in my career where I want to stop doing what I do, because I love the recording process. I love the songwriting process. If I'm just gonna have like AI do it for me, like, what's the point of being like doing this for real? Like, for me, it doesn't make sense. I don't know, like, there's been some songs created by AI, and I think it's super cool, and as long as it's being used in a way to more for fun and to kind of hear how another singer, I see all those, you know, it kind of pops up all the time on my For You page, like, oh, Justin Bieber singing like an Ariana Grande song, and it's like kind of cool to hear like a rendition, and it's pretty close. I would be like, no way. But like, that actually sounds like how it would sound. Like, I know his voice and I know the song, and I'm like, wow, it's pretty close. As long as it's not being in a way to kind of recreate, like The Weeknd and Drake had a track that was like completely AI'd, like they didn't write it, and it like got released and it whatever, and it went viral, but they didn't sing it. Like, it's not them, it's AI. And as long as it's not being in a way to, like, you know, manipulate somebody's voice and releasing music, like if somebody came out, oh, I'm Jordyn Sugar, and it sounded exactly like me, and it was AI, I would be like, hey, hold on a second, this is this is not good.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Did you see what Grimes did? She's like, you can use my song, my voice, I mean, and create your own AI with my voice, and
crazy.
we'll split it 50-50.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what she did.
That's cool. I mean, I guess if they're willingly doing it, it's fine. But if somebody goes ahead and just takes your voice and starts doing random stuff with it with no permission, then that's where the problem is.
Yeah, it's kind of like using what's could be your worst nightmare to your advantage.
Right.
I thought she was like pretty smart,
Right.
but of course she's like,
well, look, if it's a way, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad idea for her to do what she's doing, as long as she gives permission and she's taking 50% of the cut. I mean, she's still getting her cut of it. I mean, if it's a way for her to, if it's what she wants to do, then.
well, she's kind of like other people create. And
Other
and
people
you're-
create and use my
you're at
voice,
home.
and she's just taking the lead.
But like the AI is really great. I looked it up
It's
like
cool.
last week, and it's great. You can drop your audios and just do your song with the AI. It's like just a plugin.
Yeah.
Basically.
No. I think there's a lot of good that comes with AI, and obviously there's a lot of bad. But if we use it right, just like anything, you can use anything negatively, right? You can use your words negatively. You can use social media negatively. But if you're gonna use it in a positive way, then anything, then it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I find it goes fast, man. It's going out fast. Like with the AI, wow, it's like
it
now
just boom. Like
Yeah.
Chat GPT and like all these like crazy things that are just taking over, and as long as they don't completely take over and ruin our capability of like still being human, you know, to a degree of like anything where like AI can do anything for us and we don't lose that, sense of humanity, then I think it's okay. But we just have to use it right. You know, we have to use it for the way it was created.
Yeah. Last year, I was looking at for Valentine's Day. I saw this, you know, this publicity about creating a song for Valentine's Day for my husband, right?
Right.
So I go on the app and I'm looking at this, and there was singers that are like, you can choose the voice of the singer of your choice.
Yeah. Have them sing it.
To sing the song, and then you say your story, and then they make up a song for you for like $200. I wonder, is like something that you could like use, put your voice out in like...
I mean, I think it's cool again. I mean, why not? If it's what's people are wanting to do and it's becoming kind of a thing, and I mean, if it's like anything, it's like TikTok was the new app, so I went on TikTok. If this is going to be the new thing and it makes sense and it's not completely taking, you know, who I am away, then I don't see a problem with it, as long as it's being used right. You know, to create a happy birthday song, you know, I would be like, okay, I take my voice. But if it's going to be like, you know, I'm going to release a track, which would not even be allowed because we would stop it right away in lawsuit. But if you're going to take my voice and like, you know, it's going to become the next biggest hit and it's not even me, and you're saying it's under your name, but it's my voice, like that's where the problem is going to be, you know, and it's already starting. So it's just a matter of using it right. And I mean, you got to change with the times too. You can't stay in one era. You got to change with the times. And if this is the new thing,
you got to keep your eyes open.
Always.
Technology is going so fast.
It's advancing fast.
Wow. It's like the music industry has changed so much during these years, the last 10 years, with just like selling CDs, and they don't anymore.
Yeah,
like
CDs don't exist.
They don't exist anymore. They're gonna stop selling them. Like, so you could, you know, even if you wanted to copy, they're gonna stop selling them now.
Like DVD stores are closing down. No one uses them anymore. Everything's online. Everything's digital. And I mean, CDs are old.
1 million listeners in a 1 month on your Spotify. How is that?
That's cool. That's really, 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 really cool. That's amazing. I'm really, really happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 million people have heard my song, and that's you know, only want it to grow, really.
Yeah. So what are your projects now?
The next projects, well, we got season 3 of The Fashion Hero that's coming up probably next year, and we got more songs and an album on the way, and we got more gigs and more events and more, you know, podcasts and videos and everything. Like
The Fashion Hero, where is it going to be? The season 3?
Season 3 is in Croatia.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty, and saw the pictures of like the hotel or the resort in which we're staying, and it looks gorgeous, and I'm excited to go down there some point next year and film and do the filming and be part of the filming.
It's going to be a shorter time for you this time because of the TikTok?
No, longer
it's
time.
The opposite.
I'll be there for hopefully a month.
Oh, it's true, because you're going to be on every episode.
There's a very good chance I'll be part of every episode. I'll be very behind the scenes with the more with the contestants, more involved. I don't know exactly yet what I'm doing, but there's still a lot to discuss. But I know that I'm gonna run their TikTok and do, like, you know, more one-on-one with the contestants and behind the scenes and kind of the back stuff of the show, like the stuff that you don't see, and potentially a portion of the show where it's gonna be like their TikTok time or TikTok minute, and it's gonna be like a minute showing the TikToks for that episode. Maybe at the I don't know. I'm just assuming. But it could be cool. Yeah.
You don't know yet.
We have some question again.
We have a question.
Let's see it. Who did you open for at Strangers in the Night? Strangers in the Night, I opened for the legendary Gloria Gaynor, who sings the song "I Will Survive." I opened for Kool and the Gang.
Wow.
Which is, you know, Celebration, big hit. I opened for Crystal Waters, for Gypsy Woman, and She's Homeless, which is a great song. And then I opened for Technotronic, Kid K, which Pump Up the Jam and all those 90s 80s bangers.
Yes, old school. I know these ones.
It was disco, so it was all the 70s and 80s groups, and I got to spend time with Gloria Gaynor. I got to meet all of them. My trailer was right next to Crystal Waters, so I kind of walked over and I was like, "My name is Jordyn Sugar. Nice to meet you. I'm kind of a big fan." And she, I know your music and I really appreciate it. And she was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And then I met all of them, but the one that I really got to, sit down with and talk with was Gloria Gaynor. She just finished her hour set on stage, and I went to where her trailer was, and I saw a bodyguard, and I was like, "Is there any way I can meet her and say hi?" And she was in her trailer, and he was like, "Give me a second." And he goes and he knocks on her trailer door, and he opens the door, and he says, "There's somebody who wants to meet you. She's one of the openers for the night. Can she come say hi?" And she was so sweet. She's like, "Yeah, come in." So I went in. I was like, "There's no way I'm about to just walk into her trailer and just have a conversation." And I walked in, and she was eating chicken wings. Literally, her hands are covered in sauce, and she was having a great time. And she's like, "Hi, nice to meet you." I was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." And she's trying to remove the sauce from her hand so I can shake it. And she was like, "Oh, don't mind me." And I was like, "Literally, I don't care." And she offered me to eat with her because she had so many chicken wings. And so she was like, "Do you want some?" And at first I kind of felt bad. So I was like, "No, it's okay." I was a little shy, and I was like, "No, it's fine." And she's like, No, we have so many. Please take some. She's like, they ordered 75 of chicken wings, and I'm 3 people. So she's like, "Please take one." So I did. And I was like, if I didn't take one, I would probably regret not taking one.
Yeah,
so...
because it's a bonding moment.
Right.
The hands, the dirty hands.
I was like, I had dinner with her, literally. So it's that's kind of cool. So I had one just to kind of have one, and they were really good.
That's a personal time eating chicken wings.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's it's not a dinner, a regular first date dinner, let's say, with chicken wings. When you go out with someone for the first time, you don't choose chicken wings or lobster. It's lobster, chicken wings, bad first
So
date.
then I ate with her, and we spoke for 45 minutes.
Wow.
She didn't she showed me one of her unreleased songs that she was working on. Literally, I was talking with the manager and her hairstylist and herself, and I was asking her just about her career, and she's 80 years old and she's still doing this, and at such a high level of she's really in it. Her manager was like, "Gloria, this is our schedule for the week. Hey, you're flying back tomorrow. Then we got a recording session on Monday. Then on Tuesday you have a photo shoot. Then on this you have another show." And I was like, "You're 80. That's it's a lot. It's a lot." And she's still going. She's she's still writing and coming up with music. And I'm like, this is what I want to be at 80. This is what I want to do till this is it,
Well, I think when you're living off in your passion, when you're living in your passion and you love going to work every day, work is not putting you down. You stay healthy and able to do whatever because you love it.
I don't know. Yeah, she's, oh my God, and she was just so amazing, and it's just such an amazing time to spend with her and in her presence for that long, and just really get some good advice, and and it was just wow. I was
what advice did she give you?
She was just telling me, she was more just telling me, stay true to yourself, and this industry is crazy, so just stay, humble. And she was just telling me keep going and you'll get there. And she was just, all the good advice that you would hear from a legend, really, just how to get there, and when you get there, just enjoy it because it goes fast.
Did she tell you how to eat chicken wings?
No. No, she was amazing. Really, really, really great time with her, and
we have another one.
I didn't take it for granted. What do you think of AI? Would you sing a song written by AI? I like writing my own songs. I do. But, look, maybe. I'll never say no. Never say never, really. No, I don't know. Maybe. If it's a good song, why not? Yeah.
Of course.
Sure.
Of course. But I guess when you're playing with it, it must be like anything. All the technology that you have around you to write your songs. I guess if you're playing with AI, it must be a tool that is kind of like with the technology that you have there, but with a bit more.
Right.
I guess. I don't know. But you remember people before the technology must have been so much harder to write the songs and stuff, right?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I write songs. I don't really use the internet or anything to write my songs. I mean, there's definitely times that I'm like, I need a word that rhymes, and I'll go and like, what rhymes with name, you know, or rhymes with this or that, and then you just kind of, you know, use it almost like that. But I don't think I would ever completely need AI to write a song for me. I don't think I would ever want to. Like, I enjoy the writing process enough to like do it myself.
But how did you learn it? Because from the drums to writing music.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely no correlation. I mean, writing songs, I guess, is being a good writer, you know. But I was always never that good at writing in school. Like, my essays were like a 65. Like, truthfully, like I wasn't a good writer. I mean, honestly. But I think songwriting's different. I think songwriting is a different style of writing. It's like a poem. And you're writing about what you know. Again, if I'm writing about what I know, it's easy to write because I'm just writing down the events of what happened or what I want to talk about. Like, when I'm trying to write a song, let's say about, you know, like, let's say a certain like vibe. Let's say I'm trying to write a song about a podcast. I'll sit on my phone and I'll be like, what can I talk about this podcast? I mean, we're sitting down, microphone, we're live, you know, and you kind of put everything on your notes, and then you go like, you can kind of just say, you can write about anything, and then you kind of just start putting things together, and then melodies are really quick to me. I come up with melodies, they fly out of anywhere. Honestly, I'll be sitting and a melody will come to my head, I'll be like, wow, that's kind of catchy, what can I put to that? And you kind of record it on your phone, and then you can come back to it, you know, years later and be like, wow, okay, what can I use this for now? And I think, I don't think writing, I think writing just came with time, and you get better how to, you know, formulate sentences and structure and words, like what words go with what, and you know, what should be the chorus, what should not be the chorus, what's catchy enough for the chorus, you know, what's more of a verse, and then the bridge, and does this song even need a bridge? There's some of my songs don't even have a bridge. And like, that's fine. There's so many different, does it start with the chorus? Does it start with a verse? There's no right or wrong.
And the melody, how do you write that?
Again, if I could tell you the recipe, like, I would write it down.
No, but you start with the guitar
But I don't
or
even-
the piano, right?
I mean, the melody, I mean, I might just, you know, hit 4 chords on the piano, but 4 chords don't they don't imply a melody. I can just go like C, G, F, G, like fooling me, really. I'm literally just going, like, that's not a melody. That's kind of just like keeping the time with the chords and changing. But like, to come up with like the melodies, if I told you how I came up with my melodies, I would write it down. But I honestly, it comes to me. It's just something that, like, a melody just comes to me. It's like anything else. Like, if you're good at, it's whatever. Like, for me, songwriting, I can write a song in an hour, and it could be a good.
Wow.
And I have, and it's coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I wrote a song in like an hour.
In a couple weeks, I heard.
Coming out in a couple of weeks. But like, that
weeks.
song that I wrote was written in an hour. And like, I almost think to myself, how did I write that in an hour? I couldn't tell you. The melodies just came to me. And this really, really great song just came to my head. And I was like, it's going to be this. Like, this is it. This is a good song. And I can't tell you how I wrote it, because I don't remember. It just comes to me.
Yeah. No, it was an easy, I guess. But
I see
Yeah.
I saw the words, and I'm just like, "Na, okay, na, na, na." Okay, and like, you kind of just start working it out. Like, for me, when I was writing, like, the bridge, for me, the bridge came before anything to my song "Fooling Me," and I was like, na 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 na. Well, that's kind of catchy. And then you add the words, "Never, never, never gonna be what we were." Okay. There's your bridge, and it's catchy and it's fun, and but that comes to me, and I was literally just sitting down going, and that melody came to me. Like I didn't actually write it. I kind of just, I guess it's inspiration. I guess it's just, you hear so many melodies in your day. You turn on the radio, you hear thousands of melodies. You start to create, it's very easy to create your own. Like it comes to you. And sometimes when I write a really good melody, I'm like, this has to be used before. There's no way I came up with this. And there's a very good chance that, I mean, if you listen to songs, a lot of them do sound very similar, and it's because nothing's completely original. Everyone gets inspiration from somewhere. That's just how it works. You have to hear something to recreate it. You can't just make something up. That's not how it works.
And it's really also cool. With the vibe, I guess, that you're living at the time that you're living is kind of, maybe this reference is going to be weird, but it's kind of like when you buy a house and it's brand new and you get to pick everything in the house within a week, you know, it's going to reflect the way that your inside is. So I guess when you're writing songs for an album close together, they must have the same type of vibe all the time, and it kind of has something that binds them together.
Yeah. I think as this album or this EP that we're releasing is very, all the songs, I mean, all my songs are very different. None of my songs are the same. You won't turn on a song and like, is this Summer High or Leaves Me? You'll know which one it is. But there's a lot of artists that you listen to for real that you're not sure which song you're listening to for the first 4 seconds. It could be either or. And there's a lot of times I'm listening to the radio and I'm like, is it that song or is it the other 3 songs? It could be because they have the same guitar at the beginning or the same chords, because pop music uses the same, 5-6 chords in every song. So it's very normal to like question which song it could be, but I don't want my music to be like, which song is that? I want it to be like, no, this is it. This is that song. So I try to, every song, just, even if it's a different start from the last one or a different, a feeling in every song, that's the way I want it to be.
I can't believe that you didn't know that you could sing, because this voice is like amazing. What if you wouldn't have like had this chance?
Yeah.
What would you've done? You would have been to school or in what? Or
so I guess it's kind of hard to say, because I feel like there was no other way of me kind of being in this. Like, I don't see any other path for me.
So your plan was always there.
No. But now looking at it, I wouldn't have been satisfied or happy with what I was doing if it wasn't this. I just graduated Dawson. I was in a 3-year business managing and marketing program that I just graduated in June, so I'm done.
Good.
And
congrats.
Thank you. But I was really going down the athletic route of being a basketball player.
Yeah.
I mean, I was MVP pretty much every year playing basketball. I was captain of my team. Every year in high school, I was I won for the GMMA girls All-Star. I won MVP, which is like all the girls in the GMMA who play basketball. Every team, every coach picked like their best 2 players, and we all like came together and played a game, and I won MVP for that. So most valuable player. And basketball, I got drafted to the Dawson Blues to be part of their team, and then COVID hit. So I couldn't be part of it, and then that's when I started this. So I hate saying it because it destroyed so many lives, and it was a very hard time, COVID, but I don't believe without COVID I would be here.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's kind of funny with COVID, because I find it was positive on a lot of people, because they researched themselves inside themselves, and a lot of people changed careers.
Yeah.
Left their boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yep.
Changed their lives.
Yep.
Really for the better. And you had so much time to reflect on yourself, but you would have like been a basketball. You still play basketball?
Yeah, I do still play. I mean, not on a team or not seriously, but during the summer I have a net outside. I go around and I play, and I mean, I never close a door, and I think that all talents could be used.
Yeah,
To
it's
kind
still
of-
a stress releaser. It must be.
Yeah, and it's also a good talent to have, especially being in this industry. You never know when a basketball opportunity can come up in like a movie or a show, or, you know, it's still a big part of my life. So you never know when, you know, basketball can just pop out and just be another part of your life again.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
you want to start acting too.
Well, I'm definitely like, I'm not against acting. I don't think I'm completely an actor, or, you know, but I definitely think that acting is in the cards, and I think that it's definitely something I would love to do down the road. Yes.
I'm sure you can do it. If you can do stuff in one take.
Yes. I mean, I'm not an actor. I'm not an actress in the means that I don't have training. I wasn't in drama school. I wasn't in drama class, but I think that I could be an, like, why can't I be an actress? Why can't I be, you know, a this? Why can't I be a that? Like,
Well, you
anything's
learn
possible.
how to be a host in such a little time.
I think
So-
I'm a quick learner at what I like to do, and I think that, you know, with a little bit of training here and there, there's no reason why I can't be part of a show or a movie. I think it's
We have
definitely
another question.
it's definitely in the cards.
Saw you with Dax. I recently saw you with Dax. He posted you as the next big singer from Canada. What was that about?
Yeah, Dax is a really, really, really talented artist from Canada. He's very well known everywhere, really, US and Canada. And I got to meet up with him. It was, again, this, you never know when you're live what could happen. And I saw Dax, and I didn't actually know who he was, but this was maybe a month ago. And I said, I want to go live with him. And I clicked on live, not thinking he would actually accept. And he did. And I was telling him my story, not knowing how big he was or like who he was. And I felt like kind of stupid after, because everyone's like, you know who you're live with right now? And I'm like, no. And they're like, he's big, like he has 10 million followers, like he's known, he's on tour. And I was like, there's no way, like, how do I not know this? Anyways, he invited me to a show in Montreal.
Wow.
And like a week later, and I got to meet him and spend some time with him, and we chilled for a while. And I was at a show, I was backstage, and he did a little video saying like, next big singer from Canada, you know. And, you know, we talk all the time, and we're just two. And he also is a basketball player, so we have a very similar story. He was going down the basketball lane and now in the singing. So we have a very similar story, and I think that there's definitely a possibility of, like, something down the road with us, like
Yeah,
collab
maybe
or
a
something.
collaboration with music.
When we get there. But it's definitely, it's something that it's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing, like, the connections that you can make just by going TikTok live. Like, you never know who you're going to meet or who's going to pair up with you, and just kind of take it as it comes.
It's kind of funny, like we talked about before, how some people are just have such a hard time with the social media, and some other people saved their lives. Like, we've had some people here that told me, without social media, I would like be totally dead. Like, some people, it saved them.
Yeah.
Really. And it totally brightened up your life and made you see all the talent that you have. It was all there in you.
I think it's been there for a long time, and I just didn't know how to channel it and, like, find it. And once I found it, it was easy to be confident with it, because I was allowed to, and people encouraged me to be myself and, like, say, like, this is who you are, this is your talent, like, show it, like, why hide a talent? And, like, I even encourage people, like, that's one of my, I like to consider it one of my, you know, empowered pop. That's my brand. That's what I do. I'm empowered pop. I like to empower people through my music to do what they want, get the most out of life, because we do know how short it could be, and we do know anything could happen. And I like to just tell people, like, look, like, get what you want, do what you want. Like, I know it might be scary at first to put yourself online, and, like, this goes back to, like, at the beginning of the podcast when I said I wrote a song about, like, you're one click away from your dreams. Like, I was one click away from posting my first video on TikTok, and I remember clicking post and throwing my phone and saying, like, I don't even care. I had 100 followers, like, I didn't, and they were, like, literally my friends, like my sister, like, what was gonna happen? And then, like, now we're here. So I think it's just like you have to get out of your comfort zone to really be your true self. And once you do, it could be very powerful.
Yeah, and you with your association with the Fashion Hero and the Fashion Hero kids,
Yeah.
is so
That
perfect.
too, right? Empowered
It's
pop.
so perfect. It's
Yeah.
exactly what you're throwing out there, and your songs too.
My music, everything is just empowering, and confidence, and finding what you love to do, and like embracing it. Like, I don't care what you love to do. Cause sometimes I get people on my live saying like, I'm not talented, like I can't sing, I'm not talented. I'm like, hold on a second, what do you mean you're not talented because you can't sing? Like, that sounds so silly to me. It's like, you have to have something that you're good at. I don't care if it's anything, cooking, dancing, making a video, you're good in school, you're good in sports. Like, there's something that you're good at. And you just have, and if you don't have anything that you're good at now, it's because you haven't found it yet. You haven't found it. And once you find it, then you're going to be amazing at it.
Yeah, when you have the passion, I
Yeah.
guess you find a way to make it work.
There's always something that you like. There's always something that you'd like. If you haven't found it, it's because you haven't tried yet, or you haven't got to the point where you sit down and you say like, who am I? What do I like? Because you're always going to find something that you like. There has to be one thing that you like.
Do you think that's a funny question? Do you think everybody can sing? It just needs to have the right music?
Well, I think majority of people could sing. I think a lesser of that can actually sound good when they sing.
Well,
because there's a difference between
listen
singing.
to my voice.
People always the struggle that I have when I get the question, how long have you been singing? I want to say I've been singing since I could talk. True, like that's the truth. I've been singing since I can talk. Now, sounding good while singing is another question, and I can really only say probably 4 or 5 years ago.
But did you take any courses?
Well, only after I started working with Vito and Justin Bieber. Before that, I had no training. It was all self-taught.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I've always been really good at like wanting to be good at things. It's always been something I've wanted to do. Like, I like to be good at things. I like to know how to sing. I like knowing how to do like I can solve a Rubik's Cube. I can juggle. Like, it's the randomest stuff,
Yeah.
but I like to know how to do stuff.
You're a curious person.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I like having multiple kind of talents and things I could do. So I'm never bored, because if I get bored with the guitar, I can play piano. And if I get bored of the piano, I play drums, and then I can sing, or I can solve a Rubik's Cube and sing. Like, I'm always doing something, right? So I don't like being bored.
Yeah. So what do you do like on a day off?
Day off, I go live all the time. I relax.
That's not off.
Well,
Wait, like a day off. Like,
but
okay,
like
today.
a day off gives time to like go live, because a lot of the times when I'm busy or I have a show, I'm not live, right? So I consider a day off like going live. Like, it's my time to like be
You have
live.
a good time to do it when you're live. It's like being with
it's
your
a fun
friends.
time. It's not
Yeah.
even, it's not a job. I don't consider it like, oh, I need a day off from a day off. For me, my day off is like going live, chilling, relaxing, being with friends. Like, I try to consume my time with like stuff. I do.
Are you a movie junkie, or you like to watch TV?
I
and
do like
movies?
watching TV. I don't think I'm a junkie. I think I enjoy, a movie here and there, but I don't think I can just sit and watch shows and movies all day for a long time. Like, maybe a show if I get really consumed into the show.
Yeah, well,
It's not-
I can't believe some people, they do like the whole Netflix weekend thing, and I'm like, oh my God, how can you have time to do that, or the capacity to keep your attention nowadays with all the social media now? We're so captivated, like to change right away. Like, I can't, since social media, I don't think I can sit down and watch a TV show anymore.
Yeah, I end up like watching the show and then
Going on your phone,
going
yeah.
around my phone. And I think that if the show's not good enough, I turn it off. And if I'm on my phone, it means the show sucks. So like, turn it off and find something else. But I find like half of the time I try to sit down and watch a movie, it's time trying to find a movie. And then by the time you find the movie, you're too tired to watch it.
Agreed. That's
right.
why I'm like, I don't watch movies anymore because I would just watch the thrillers, and that was like,
Yeah.
that was enough
Yeah.
for us. It's
Yeah.
like, time to sleep now.
Time to sleep. It was not even fun anymore. By the time I'm like, okay, I found the movie, but it's too late now.
It's like the information is so there for us now. It's like you're in your head, you're already on your phone to find the information.
Yeah.
You're already
Yeah.
out there all the time. And of course, if for you your community is your friends, on your day off you're enjoying yourself, of course.
Yeah, I'm happy.
being,
I'm happy to do it, and it's what I love to do. For me, it's not work. For me, it's like fun. It's kind of an escape from whatever's going on. It's a time to like go on live and chill with like a different bunch of people and kind of just it's like a different world on TikTok live or on live in general. It's like a different world, So it's different than reality. It really is. Like it's real time and it's real people, but it's like a different escape. It's a different type of real. Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Oh yeah, I see the passion in your eyes, like how
They know
how
it.
you like this. But I guess the marketing in you also helps you all do all these videos.
Yeah. No, I mean, I I had school. I went to training. Like my school, the last semester I was in like an internship, and again I teach you how to market, and like I did a lot of marketing and public speaking in front of my class. I had to present, and so I get really good at just talking about a subject. If I have to talk about myself, I got good at like I know who I am. I know how to talk about myself in a way that's like proper, I guess you can say, and I say all the stuff I need to say, and that's it. That's it.
Do you have a hard time giving chores to other people, like
Chores?
jobs to other people? Like I'm sorry, the French is coming out.
J'ai compris. I understand. Trust me. I understand more than you think.
Like when you have to give jobs to other people and accepting the way that they could see.
Delegate? What are you saying? Delegate?
Delegate, exactly, that was the word, and it's the same as the French one, so that was like...
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about like when I do, like, giving jobs to other people in terms of,
delegating certain things, because more and more that you're busy, more and more that you have to give
right,
responsibilities to other people around you.
Yeah.
And then you have to accept that they're not
their
going to...
results, right?
Yeah, they're not going to do exactly like you would.
Well, I think that like, look, you have your way of doing things, and like other people have their own way of doing things. So I think that just understanding that, and obviously I'm not going to work with people who don't have the same vision or don't have the same like long-term goal. Like if I'm going to work with somebody who in the end doesn't like make my song sound like the way I intended it to sound, like I just won't work with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like if I have my team and they know the way I like my sound and the way I should be, the way everything should go, and they're not gonna do something that's gonna throw me off the edge, or you really trust in your people that their job is like your job, right? They're doing your job that you can't do.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do it the way that you would have done it had you have done it. So I think that like you just work with people who know you really well, and that's why I don't like working with people who wouldn't know who I am or take the time to like get to know me, because I feel like you really got to know me to like know what I like, and when I'm off, when I'm on, when I'm good and not. So
yeah,
I really
and is it hard to take the criticism when they do criticize you?
Yeah, I mean I know it's all out of love for real, but I mean, sometimes it's hard, and I mean, I think it's just part of the learning experience, and eventually I'll get to the point where it won't be as harsh of a criticism, because I'll have learned more from the last time I was criticized, and it's more constructive criticism. It's not me, and it's not like you suck. It would be like, no, this is not the way it's going to be done. This is the way it's going to be done because of da 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 da. You just accept it, and then you get better at it, and then next time you don't do that.
I remember like Pictures Me. It was a picture. It's like when I was doing magazines and stuff, and then you know, I would get the front page, and then the picture on the front page wouldn't be the one I would have chosen. You know what I mean? Like, that was hard for me to let go, because you like certain ways that you are on a picture, but it doesn't mean that other people like you that way.
Right.
Or like that part of you. So it's hard to accept that, right?
Right. I think, look, people are gonna like you or they're not, and I really don't care if you don't like me. I mean, I'm sure it's not personal. I think it's just like, either you like what I look like or you don't, and if you don't, that's fine. Like, there's gonna be people who will. Like, I don't really take offense to it. I think I just do what I like to do. You know, we try out different things and different looks, and like, you know, I have my hair down, and then I'll have it up, and then I'll have it half up, and then half up, half down. And I guess your look, right, that's what you're asking. It comes with time, right?
Yeah, well, you know that sometimes the team will choose a picture or an outfit that you'd be like, oh
God,
but you gotta trust the process, and it's hard to.
Yeah.
The other day, I'm downtown and I'm doing a shoot. I'm doing a shoot, and you know, the girl did my makeup and put, you know, some clothes on me that I wouldn't have worn together. But I have to walk down the street, and I feel like a drag queen. You know what I mean? Like, this outfit is just not me at all. And I can wear like anything crazy and flashy. I don't care. But when I chose it and I put it together, I feel it, and I'm super confident. When it's somebody else, it kind of like, I didn't feel that confident. And then when I saw the pictures, they were really amazing. But it was like, oh my God.
I have a similar experience, for real. Like, sometimes you have no choice to wear other people's stuff, or like you're doing something for an event and like you have to wear their designers' outfits. And sometimes you might not be like obsessed with them, and you might think, oh God, I won't look good in this. And then you kind of put it on and you get dressed up, and you're like, wow. You see the pictures after and you're like, oh, I actually looked fine in it. Like, I look good. Like, no problem. As long as you're not completely drifting away from your style or like kind of your look, I don't think it's a problem to like kind of be creative or step outside your comfort zone. Like, there's many times where I had to wear something I didn't want to wear, and like once you put it on and you really see what it looks like, you're like, okay, I can deal with it. It's not even that bad. You know, it's just like initially you're like, ugh, no.
What things are not? You're like, it's not you. What things don't you wear?
I really don't like. I've never liked wearing dresses. I've got better, but I remember my mom can even say this. Actually, she remembers better than I, because I was way too young to remember. But even at like the age of 3, like I had to go to a wedding, and I don't remember whose wedding, but it was a wedding, and they were trying to get me into this dress, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, I was like, no. Like, I was like, no. I would cry, and I was like, I'm not wearing a dress. And my mom's like, then you're not coming to the wedding. And I would be like, but I want to come to the wedding. She's like, then you're putting on the dress. And I just didn't want to put on the dress. And then I put on the dress. But now, I mean, I'm getting a lot better with kind of fashion, because you start knowing what you like and you don't like. I mean, I really don't like wearing heels because they're uncomfortable, but you wear them when you have to wear them, and you find the ones that are comfy and that are not as bad, but, you know, still look like a heel.
Yeah, but you're lucky, because back in the day, we used to wear heels all the time.
Oh, God.
Like, I didn't even have own running shoes. Like, nowadays you can wear a dress with running shoes, and it's going to be
works.
fast. Yeah.
That's what I wear. That's what I do. Yeah.
Exactly. But back then you could not. You could not. So you would be in high heels all the time. And, you know, I've learned now to wear the flats, and I have a hard time with the high heels now. I bought, though, you know what I bought?
What?
That's like crazy. I bought high heel Crocs.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, my friend. High heel Crocs.
What are they? I've never even seen those exist, really.
Yeah, they do. And I have them in a lot of colors. And everywhere I go, people, because when I bought them, my friends are like, no, you're not. No, you're not going to buy that. That's freaking ugly. And I'm like,
what do they even look like? It's just like a Croc with a heel?
Yeah, I will show you a picture.
I gotta see this.
And I wear them like out, and I can spend the whole night with them. And people stop me.
What?
Oh my God, your Crocs are so cool, and this and that. And my daughter puts like the like
all
the
the little
little
stuff on them. Yeah. She like designs it up. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
So it kind of pops any outfit with the Crocs, and I can stay all night now because I lost the like my feet don't have that angle anymore. No.
I guess it happens.
Yeah, like I used to work in the strip bars, so we would wear the like 5-6 inch heels.
Wow.
And I would work all night with them and spend all day with them. But it happened, like it wasn't comfortable until your feet just cracks. At one point it cracks and it's like, okay, now it's fine.
Oh God, no. Couldn't do that. Oh my God, I
It's
could
gotta
not
crack.
do that.
It's got a crack.
No, I try to get like the wedges that like barely have an arch so I can try to pull off the night with them, and even then I'm like, oh boy, this is uncomfortable.
The wedges are not bad.
No, my feet are kind of weird.
But you're gonna be a superstar.
It's fine.
You can wear the basketball shoes.
I'll wear
with
the
dress.
basketball. I will not go on stage with heels for more than half an hour. I'll try to get through the night. No, but I'm more comfortable in I like to run around stage. I've seen a lot of like Ariana Grande. She's running around with literally like 10-inch heels, and I'm like, I don't know how she does it. I mean, great, but I can't. No, for me, I need like my shoes, like any running shoe, ball shoe, like basketball shoe. I can run around all day.
Are you gonna start taking dance classes? You think?
I will. Evan, are you here? One of my amazing followers, actually, shout out to Evan. If he's here watching, he'll be really happy to know that I'm giving him a shout out. But he's a dancer. He's a really, really good, amazing dancer from Vancouver, and he offered me dancing lessons.
Wow.
On Zoom. So we start Sunday, Evan, don't we?
Yeah. Wow, that's gonna be really a good thing to add to such a talent.
Oh yeah, and I think that it can really make me a better performer if I have even the basics down and kind of have a little dance move for each song, something a little different. And we're gonna start doing a couple times a week lessons on Zoom, even if it's an hour, and gonna practice daily. And just like my singing, I mean, I got my voice to where it is, so why can I not get my dancing to where I want it to be?
It's gonna be something to be able to dance and sing at the same time.
Package, it's really hard.
That's like I see the like Madonna.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like she can like on tour right now.
Mm-hmm. I know she's on
64 now.
Something like that. Like
yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of good. It just like it's a lot of work, the breath control and yeah. I mean, but it's definitely that's what's gonna happen over time. You get used to it. And I already dance on stage. It's less of like a routine, but more of like I run around, I walk around, I jump around, I run, I back and forth, I move. I'm never dead stop for like 10 seconds. If you watch my videos, I'm always moving, so you kind of learn. So the better I get at doing that, the easier it'll be to like incorporate moves and dancing, like just getting comfortable on stage, really. And now that I have that comfort, I can like do anything. Yeah,
but you're already fit, playing basketball.
Yeah.
You're already a fit person, so I guess the cardio is there.
The cardio's there. I guess anything could always be better, but I definitely have like a good I guess a good practice from basketball for all those years, and they wouldn't really take me off and put me on the bench ever, so I got used to playing like whole games just back to back to back to back. They took me off for like a minute, but I was on for pretty much the 32 minutes of the basketball game, and
when you're a good player.
They didn't like taking me off. It wasn't. I had a great time on the court, and I really, it's where I shined. I wasn't necessarily like, I mean, I shined on the court. People knew where to find me, and they knew that that's where I was my best, was on the court, and now it's on the stage.
Yeah.
So I guess it's when you find it, yeah, you can shine anywhere, right?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. It's all is good. Yeah, so now you're going to learn to dance. It's wonderful. And your new song is coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could say the name, Flav.
Oh,
Oh, we're announcing it live. Okay, the name is, drum roll, Feel the Rush.
ooh, feel the rush.
Y'all are gonna love me for this one. It's called Feel the Rush. I guess I can talk a little bit about it. I wrote it in about an hour. I don't want to get into too much of why I wrote it or what it's for, or what it could be possibly for. But I wrote it in an hour. The song represents, you know, just happiness, good vibes, good feel, dancing, you know, get up on the dance floor, dance, give it your best, shine bright.
Yeah, we're going to, when we listen to it, we're going to
yes.
be able to put ourselves
Yes.
in the song.
Oh yeah,
And
hell
feel
yeah.
it,
Oh
right?
yeah, it's definitely a dance song. So I'm really excited for everyone to hear.
Yeah, you kind of like the EDM stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, getting into it a little more, I just released "Foolin' Me" remix, which could be compared to like is an EDM remix.
It's really good.
Dance vibe. Yeah, thank you. I mean, you take a slow song and you make it dance upbeat. So I mean, it's always tricky, but we did a great job, and the producer was amazing. And this one is done by the same guy who did the "Fool Me" remix, so you can only imagine it's that same vibe. And yeah, so Feel the Rush, guys, coming out very soon, and we have more recording to do, actually, probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear
It's
it.
coming.
Can't wait to hear it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In French, we have this thing we call la question qui tue. You
Okay.
ever heard about that?
Question qui tue.
The question that's gonna kill you.
Oh boy.
You ready?
She's worried.
So, growing up in Toronto and moving to Montreal, everybody's dying to know, are you a Montreal Canadien fan or a Toronto Maple Leaf?
I don't think I was ever a Maple Leafs fan. because, well, first of all, my parents are originally from Montreal, so like I feel like when there was a team, it was like the Habs, you know, and then being in Toronto, I was really too young to like get into hockey, and I wasn't really a big fan until I moved to Montreal. And then when I moved to Montreal, it was the Habs, so like I didn't have enough time. Look, if the Maple Leafs do make it to the playoffs, I'm like, oh, happy, like, you know, my hometown's making it. And if like let's say the Canadians don't, at least the Maple Leafs made it, like, you know, my hometown made it. But obviously, I want the Habs to win. Yeah, it's the Habs for me.
But you like hockey?
I did a couple of years back. I watched every game. I was like, you know, I was on every time they played a game. But now I don't really spend much time watching like them play. I mean, I like hockey. I've always wanted to be a hockey player, but then I was
basketball.
drumming and basketball, and I had a lot of other stuff going on at that time, so I never got into it. But no, I really love hockey. I really love watching it. It's definitely one of my favorite sports to watch. That and basketball.
That would be a great gig to see you sing the anthems one. That'd be so nice.
You know, I mean, I guess there's different voices for everything. I don't necessarily know my voice would be a national anthem voice unless I made it like my own pop kind of sound. But I've been offered to sing the national anthem before. And I had to turn it down. It's just not in my cards. It's not my voice. It's not my vibe. It's a little more. You need a little more of a different voice for that type of song. I can sing it and it can probably sound okay, but it's not the voice that is.
Before turning it down, did you try it? Like, did you tape yourself?
I mean, it wasn't for the Habs game. It was for something else, but I don't even remember what it was for, honestly. But I listen and you know, it just deep down I'm like, no, this is not the voice. You need that full voice, that, you know, that opera sounding with the vibrato, and I just don't have it, you know. I can joke about it. I just don't have it, you know. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not. You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody can make anything work, but it wouldn't be on your top list.
No, I mean, look,
exactly.
if I
it
really
be something you'd be proud of after.
No, like,
you know?
I guess if I made it my own and I made it a little maybe different or maybe an R&B pop style, I could have maybe found a way, but then you're destroying the song.
Yeah, you're changing everything.
Right, and
Everybody's got to
but then it's
change
not
for you.
Canada anymore. No, it's like
Let's change it up.
something
You know,
else.
I thought about this, and I think we could make it more creative.
Yeah,
It's
no,
gonna be
it's I mean, anything's possible. Maybe down the road they'll be like, we really want you to do it, even if we have to rearrange the whole song. And maybe they'll be like, okay.
Yeah,
we can
because
make
you
it
wanna
fun, but
make-
It's not really for me.
you want to make the song.
Yeah, like if I get offered the Super Bowl, maybe I'll take lessons to learn how to sing it. You know, but I rather.
You would.
Well, no, I'd rather be the halftime show. But if I, you know, like it's funny, like the Backstreet Boys never did the halftime show. They just did the anthem for it. They were offered the halftime and they turned it down to do the national anthem.
Oh,
And
yeah?
It's like one of their, I know AJ said it's like a big regret for them, but they didn't take the halftime show.
They did the national
They
anthem.
did the national anthem and then not the halftime show. And then they're like, I don't know why we did that.
I think it's the world's biggest stage or something, you know?
Yeah, it's only like 2 billion people watching, but it's not that big of a deal.
But I guess the national anthem is a big thing for the Americans.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I guess they maybe because they were in a time where, you know, you're young, you want to get more serious, you want people to see you more seriously, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even remember what AJ said, but he said something like we turned it down, like we didn't want to do it at the time, like we just thought it'd be too much, and like we said we'd rather do the anthem, and we thought it would be different, but now they're like, no, we would have done the halftime show, we would have been very happy. I don't know.
When you watch shows like the halftime show or any shows, are you like critical a lot? Are you like?
Yeah, I'm not critical because that's not fair to be critical. I mean, I look up to these artists, so like to be critical would just be like, what? And they're when I want to get to be that, you know, that size where I am I'm doing the halftime show, right? So when I watch it, I'm taking notes really. Like, what did they do? How did they do it? How did they carry themselves? How did they sound? You know, and every halftime show is going to be way different, right? Like I watched like the last 6 consecutively and they're all different. And I even went back to watch like the worst halftime shows and the best just to see like what not to do and like how wardrobe malfunctions can happen and, you know, what's a good halftime show compared to a bad one and why do people think it's good compared to why it's bad and what makes that difference. And there's people who say like, you know, this one was the best and that one was the worst. To the same one, and you're like, what makes you say otherwise? Like, what makes you say that's the worst compared to the best?
I guess taste,
the artist. Maybe you don't like the artist. Maybe you don't like their songs. You don't like how they sing. Like, I don't know. There's so many things, and you can't control that.
No,
but if you
of
can
course.
control, like, oh, she did so much more in her act. Like, you know, Lady Gaga was doing flips and acrobats, and then you have someone, you know, like Michael Jackson that's like flying and appearing in different places at once and doing like a really cool, you know, thing at the end with you know, all like the pictures and then you compare it to like another one that maybe didn't have acrobats and flipping and crazy dancers. That can make a big difference, right? So mine would have to be crazy. Like maybe I do have to do flips. Like maybe that could be really cool. Like maybe that would make it one of the best, you know, not to make it the best because I'm not trying to be the best, but what do people like? What do people not like? You know, what's too much? What's not enough?
Well, now you've got 2 days a week of dancing lessons.
Yeah, I gotta get my Super Bowl on. You never know.
Well, you know, that's a big show. I would start working for it. Every song. So you're gonna do a video for that new song also?
Yeah. It's definitely in the. We're waiting to find out a few things, but a video down the road, yeah. A video, cool music video. Yeah. A music video's on the way. We're really excited.
It's gonna be
I mean, we don't know too much. The song's not even done. We actually still have some stuff to do for the song, but the idea and the music and like the track is there, and we're really excited, and we think that this is definitely going to be a crowd favorite because it's just so inclusive, the song, and it leaves room for anyone to sing along, and it's just so catchy, and it gets in your head within seconds because of how catchy I was able to make the song. And it's really like you hear my music and it empowers you, but it also feels like you can be a part of the song. You know, you're not just listening, like sing along and feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, like you see your life through the music.
Yep.
That's one thing that you said that's important when you're writing a song, that people feel that, you know, it could be them.
Yeah.
It's their life.
Yeah. Because I'm going to make a song selfishly that's just about my life and like ignoring everyone else's, and like that's not how you make a good song. A good song that you hear on the radio that really like people relate to is like the songs that are really like in your feels and that you can relate to and be like, wow, like I could have lived through that.
Yeah.
That's like the best music. That's the best music.
So we gotta stay on your social media.
Yes.
And so we can not miss it when it comes
miss
out.
this song.
We cannot miss it. You know, you've been with me like 2.5 hours of interview, my friend. We did 2.5 hours. That's like, wow.
That's crazy.
We had
it went by fast though. We had a good time.
I hope you did.
I definitely did. I did. It's a lot of fun. Is it done? Are we done?
You can stay if you want.
Oh, well, if you have
But
any
we're going to
last
have to take a
questions-
break, though. Hey, do we have new questions? No? Okay, it says you wish. You can stay. We can take it, but we have to take a break.
Okay.
We take a break and
After
you stay?
the break.
Yes, all right. I'm so happy that she's staying. So we're going to take a break because my machine needs to chill out a bit. Ouais, c'est ça. On prend un petit break avec Jordyn Sugar. Je vous rappelle que vous pouvez toujours nous contacter si ça vous tente de nous aider avec notre production. Donc, on prend des commanditaires, des gens qui veulent faire de la publicité. Vous avez juste à nous informer de vos demandes à info@lemondetangerine.com. Et je vous laisse avec les mots de nos fiers commanditaires et on revient dans pas long avec Jordyn Sugar. Ici Tangerine, je le sais que t'aimes mon podcast, ben là, tu veux rien manquer, tu dois t'abonner au YouTube Premium. Quand t'es membre Premium, t'as accès à tout le podcast jusqu'à la fin. On le sait, la fin, c'est toujours ce qu'il y a de plus juteux, croustillant. Et là, tu vas pouvoir l'écouter sans publicité pour seulement 5$ par mois. Si j'ai un événement en plus, tu rentres VIP, puis on prend une petite photo. Tu cherches un studio pour produire ton audio, ton vidéo ou même ta photo? J'ai le studio pour toi. Tu as juste à arriver ici avec tes idées, ton invité et tout le tralala. Puis nous, on s'occupe du montage, de le diffuser sur toutes les plateformes live. Puis toi, tu repars avec ta carte SD, toute prête à être diffusée. Il reste juste à nous payer, puis on charge vraiment pas cher. Fait que qu'est-ce que t'attends? Contacte-nous.
Le monde Tangerine. Le monde Tangerine.
Comment nous voir mon balado et mon beau décolleté? Ben ça, c'est sur patreon.com, le monde de Tangerine. Mais là, tu veux m'écouter en t'entraînant, cuisinant, conduisant ou même en baisant. Le monde de Tangerine est maintenant disponible sur toutes les plateformes de balado. On parle de Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, même Alexa peut le trouver pour toi. Qu'est-ce que t'attends? Rentre dans mon monde.
Le monde Tangerine. Le monde Tangerine.
Nous sommes de retour avec Jordyn Sugar, notre pop star de Montréal. Elle est rendue international. Mais oui, ben oui. Puis on est chanceux parce qu'elle est avec nous. Puis en plus, elle nous a vraiment donné beaucoup de temps de sa journée à occuper comme qu'elle est. Jeune, jolie demoiselle comme ça. Oh my God. I'm so happy that you're staying. I'm like, I was like, oh my God, maybe she wants to go. I took so much of her time, and you're like,
No.
you want to stay? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, if you have
wow.
questions, I mean, yeah, why not?
And I'm blessed too because I got to listen to your new song, and I was dancing to it.
I saw.
So
After you danced.
So it's gonna, yeah, I love to dance. I love electronic music, actually.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, that's why you loved it.
yeah, I like clubbing, honestly.
music.
I did a lot of after hours in my life. Yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of that, especially because I owned bars, you know, so I was always working during bar hours. So then you
like
have no
becomes
choice. It's like it's either
Part
you
of your
go
life, right?
yeah, it's like it's either you go out to an after
Yeah.
hours or you don't go out at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what that's what it is.
Exactly.
Did you ever go to an after hours? Like stereo or something like that?
I've been to a club. I've been to clubs in Montreal and bars, but I don't necessarily know after hours.
Yeah, with like the electronic music, because that's mostly like the on the after like the after hours scene, like the before it was circus and now there's just stereo left. It's like all electronic music. So
Cool.
but you can get the stereo bar is open like until 3. If you've ever been there.
No.
No, that's electronic music too.
No.
So
Never,
that's
never been there.
that's a good good place to listen to electronic music and different DJs from all around, like more underground stuff.
That's cool.
And sometimes you think you could like want to do something more electronic, more hardcore, like out of the pop thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, my song "Troubled." It's like rock and pop. So
Yeah.
like I'm always like into like kind of doing like pop, different branches of pop, which could be really anything you do: pop country, pop rock, pop, R&B, pop acoustic, pop dance, pop electric. It goes around. Like pop can stem into anything. So yeah, pop electric. Why not?
Is it still the country that's the pop country? Is that the most like popular around the world? Because it was for a long time, I guess, because of all the Texas people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't know facts. I don't know. I don't know the facts, but I know that pop country is really, really big, for sure.
Yeah, I know for a fact that Cheyenne Twain is coming tonight.
Oh, really?
Is she really?
In Montreal.
She called you, eh?
Yeah. Me and China were like that. We grew up together.
Love that.
I'm like, how can you know this?
Can't believe she's here tonight. That's cool.
Because she's at the Bell Center
tonight.
and I was
Oh,
watching
really?
the hockey, and they talk about it.
The best thing about me.
I'm like, how could you know this stuff? Unless she called you.
She told you.
No. But I guess when you when you watch the television or listen to the hockey.
They talk about the next upcoming.
Yeah.
events.
So the Bell Center. That would be fun.
Oh yeah,
to do.
that's the next stop.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like a Canadian star, so I guess a Canadian tour would be the first thing that you're gonna go for.
Yeah, totally. I mean, touring is definitely the next step. Just getting a big enough crowd that's gonna come to all my shows in different parts of Canada or the U.S. or I'm getting a pretty international market, so. When we find the pockets of people who are, where it's at, then we're gonna we can do that all through analytics. But we can find the place where I'm listened to the most in certain areas of the world, and we can target those and go perform there.
Oh, so now you're planning the tour.
Well, we're not planning a tour just yet because we still have a lot to do. But down the road, yes, in the next year, we're gonna definitely start looking. Yeah, 100%.
You must be hyped up about this because that's going to be a big thing. You're going to, if you're planning to do a 6-month tour, that's a 6-month.
Time consuming. It's everything. It's your life for 6 months, which is the life I want.
It's such an adventure.
Yeah. I love travel. I really like to travel. I like to see different parts. I get really bored easily, like I said before. So I'm bored of Montreal. I am. I've seen it. I need to go. I need to find something new. I need to like see other stuff. And then when I come back, I'll be like, oh, I like being to my home. I like being home. But then I'll be like, no, get me out. I want to go somewhere else.
When you went to South Africa, was it your first trip out?
No. No. I've been to the States many times. I've been to different parts of Canada. But this was my first. I've been to Mexico. But this is my first, I guess, across the water.
Yeah?
Over the ocean, like flight, because we went to we had a layover in Amsterdam, and then we had a layover in Paris, so I got to be in the airport of Europe for a little bit, and then we were like, bye. We didn't even last an hour there. But South Africa was, it was gorgeous. And it was like first time like really on the other side of the world. Someplace like so different than Canada. It's not even the same. Even the driving was different. Like we were so scared. I was so scared because the driving's on the other side, driving the other way. I was like, oh my God, we're going to hit that car. And they're like, no, you won't. You're fine. I'm like,
But
well, am I?
Did you drive?
I didn't drive, but we had a driver. But everything's backwards, right? You're turning different. Everything's different. I'm like, oh God, this is so scary.
But do you drive?
I do drive. I do have my license.
Okay.
I've had it for 2 years now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
so-
mean, it took me forever to have my driver's license.
Really?
I think I got my driver's license. I was like 28.
Wow. No, for me, as soon as I turned 16, I was like in school for driving, and COVID hit, so it delayed me like a year and a half. But then as soon as I was able to finish all my in-cars and take my knowledge test and my in-car test,
Yeah.
I got my license at I think 18.
Yeah,
So
well,
we-
me, it's just my ex would drive me around. We would work together,
Yeah.
right? So he would just drive me all the time. But then, you know, you can't argue because or else he won't drive you.
That's funny.
So now.
you have to be nice.
So when we left each other, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get my driver's license because I, you know, now I want to be able to argue and leave.
Well, I driving has always been something I wanted to do. Like, my dad's very much into cars, and he works in the car industry. And I've always like it looked always so fun, and like as soon as I was able to like have my license, I was like, I'm getting my license. I need to drive. I always loved go-karting. I always loved like the idea of driving. I thought it was super fun, super cool. I was like, I need it. So when I turned 16, I was like, no, I'm getting it as soon as possible.
I can't believe you didn't try it. You didn't try to drive on the other side.
No, I wouldn't even trust myself. It was no, it was scary.
No?
It was really scary. Plus, there was no opportunity for me to drive. Like driving South Africa in the part that we were staying in was there was quite a bit of violence, and so you don't want to be. I wouldn't feel safe like driving through a town I'd never been to. So it was just like you let the person who knows the town drive, and we had to drive we got there late at like 10 o'clock at night. It was an 18-hour flight to South Africa.
Yeah.
And so when we landed, it was really late. We were really tired. Like we were 11 hours on the plane because we did two, one 8 hours, one 11 hours. It was crazy. Yeah. And so we did 11 hours. You're exhausted. We got off the plane. We go to the hotel. You know, we're in the, I'm in South Africa right now. Like, this is so weird. Like, I'm here. And I'm just, like, in a hotel. And I'm like, okay. Like, when I wake up. And it was so scary because it was during COVID. I remember, like, the only way to get to the resort was to get a negative test on the COVID. So I'm like, there's no way I just flew 18 hours for me to get a positive COVID test and then not be allowed to participate. I would have actually not been okay. Luckily, it was not the case and we were fine. And we had to drive from the...
But you had to take a COVID test before leaving. And then
before leaving, after the plane, there was many because it was like in the height of... It was in... Yeah. We were wearing masks. I had to wear a mask on the plane. It was bad. Like it was. Did
bad. You have were you coach economy or did you have more leg room for the 11 hours?
Well, luckily it wasn't a full plane, so we had a row of like 4 seats. Like me and my mom were lucky to get a row of 4 seats. So actually we were sitting at first and then we ran to the back and we saw like rows empty. So I took a whole row. I was like sleeping. Like I literally lay down because I was like, this is the only time I'm going to be able to sleep. So we slept, we woke up, we took the test, and we had to drive 2.5 hours to the resort from the hotel, because that was like the closest hotel, and it was a pretty nice hotel. And we went 2.5 hours in the car, and like there's no way I could have drove that. Like, it's not safe to like drive in a new town, like completely different than I'm used to. Like, we're on the right side, or it possibly was the left. I think it was the left side, but it was like the driver's on the left side, like in Canada, but everything was different. Like, you would drive on the right side, you weren't on the left. Anyways, it was very confusing. And so I couldn't, I didn't have enough time to wrap my head around it.
No, yeah.
We have another question from the internet.
What is the one
Caleb.
thing most proud of in all your accomplishments? Bonjour, Caleb. Hi, Caleb.
Hi, Caleb. I know Caleb.
Oh.
Most thing I'm proud of, that's a really hard question. I think there's a lot, honestly.
It's funny. I
feel like everything I'm doing is like what I'm really No,
that's electronic music too.
no.
So
Never,
that's
never been there.
That's a good good place to listen to electronic music and different DJs from all around, like more underground stuff.
That's cool.
And sometimes you think you could like want to do something more electronic, more hardcore, like out of the pop thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, my song "Troubled," it's like rock and pop. So like I'm always like into like kind of doing like pop, different branches of pop, which could be really anything you do: pop country, pop rock, pop, R&B, pop acoustic, pop dance, pop electric. It goes around. Like, pop can stem into anything. So yeah, pop electric. Why not?
Is it still the country that's the pop country? Is that the most like popular around the world? Because it was for a long time, I guess, because of all the Texas people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't know facts. I don't know the facts, but I know that pop country is really, really big, for sure.
Yeah, I know for a fact that Shania Twain is coming tonight.
Oh, really?
Is she really?
In Montreal.
She called you, eh?
Yeah. Me and Shania were like that. We grew up together.
Love that.
I'm like, how can you know this?
Can't believe she's here tonight. That's cool.
Because she's at the Bell Center
tonight.
and I was watching the hockey, and they talk about it.
The best thing about
I'm like, how could you know this stuff? Unless she called you.
She told you.
No. But I guess when you when you watch the television or listen to the hockey.
They talk about the next upcoming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the Bell Center. That would be fun.
Oh yeah,
to do.
that's the next stop.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like a Canadian star, so I guess a Canadian tour would be the first thing that you're gonna go for.
Yeah, totally. I mean, touring is definitely the next step. Just getting a big enough crowd that's gonna come to all my shows in different parts of Canada or the US, or I'm getting a pretty international market. So when we find the pockets of people who are where it's at, then we're gonna we do that all through analytics. But we can find the place where I'm listened to the most in certain areas of the world, and we can target those and go perform there.
Oh, so now you're planning the tour.
Well, we're not planning a tour just yet because we still have a lot to do. But down the road, yes, in the next year, we're gonna definitely start looking. Yeah, 100%.
You must be hyped up about this because that's gonna be a big thing. You're gonna, if you're planning to do a 6-month tour, that's a 6-month.
Time consuming. It's everything. It's your life for 6 months. Which is
It's
the life
such
I
an
want.
adventure.
Yeah, Yeah, I love travel. I really like to travel. I like to see different parts. I get really bored easily, like I said before. So like I'm bored of Montreal. Like I am. Like I've seen it. I need to go. I need to find something new. I need to like see other stuff. And then when I come back, I'll be like, oh, I like being to my home. I like being home. But then I'll be like, no, get me out. I want to go somewhere else.
When you went to South Africa, was it your first trip out?
No, no. I've been to the States many times. I've been to different parts of Canada. But this was my first, I've been to Mexico, but this is my first, I guess, across the water.
Yeah?
Over the ocean, like flight. Because we went to, we had a layover in Amsterdam, and then we had a layover in Paris. So I got to be in the airport of Europe for a little bit, and then we were like, bye. We didn't even last an hour there. But South Africa was, yeah, it was gorgeous. And it was like first time, like really on the other side of the world. Someplace like so different than Canada. It's not even the same. Even the driving was different. Like we were so scared. I was so scared because the driving's on the other side, driving the other way. I was like, oh my God, we're going to hit that car. And they're like, no, you won't. You're fine. I'm like,
But
well, am I?
Did you drive?
I didn't drive, but
Okay.
we had a driver. But everything's backwards, right? You're turning different. Everything's different. I'm like, oh God, this is so scary.
But do you drive?
I do drive. I do have my license.
Okay.
I've had it for 2 years now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
so-
mean, it took me forever to have my driver's license.
Really?
I think I got my driver's license. I was like 28.
Wow. No, for me, as soon as I turned 16, I was like in school for driving, and COVID hit, so it delayed me like a year and a half. But then as soon as I was able to finish all my in-cars and take my knowledge test and my in-car test,
Yeah.
I got my license at I think 18.
Yeah,
So
well,
we-
me, it's just my ex would drive me around. We would work together,
Yeah.
right? So he would just
Yeah.
drive me all the time. But then you know, you can't argue because or else he won't drive you.
That's funny.
So now.
So you have to be nice.
So when we left each other, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get my driver's license because I, you know, now I want to be able to argue and leave.
Well, I driving has always been something I wanted to do. Like, my dad's very much into cars, and he works in the car industry. And I've always like it looked always so fun, and like as soon as I was able to like have my license, I was like, I'm getting my license. I need to drive. I always loved go-karting. I always loved like the idea of driving. I thought it was super fun, super cool. I was like, I need it. So when I turned 16, I was like, no, I'm getting it as soon as possible.
I can't believe you didn't try it. You didn't try to drive on the other side.
No, I no.
believe
I
it.
didn't. I wouldn't even trust myself. It was no. It was scary.
No?
It was really scary. Plus,
Oh, yeah?
there was no opportunity for me to drive. Like driving South Africa in the part that we were staying in was there was quite a bit of violence, and so you don't want to be. I wouldn't feel safe like driving through a town I'd never been to. So it was just like you let the person who knows the town drive, and we had to drive from the. So we got there late at like 10 o'clock at night. It was an 18-hour flight to South Africa.
Yeah.
And so when we landed, it was really late. We were really tired. Like we were 11 hours on the plane because we did two, one 8 hours, one 11 hours. It was crazy. Yeah. And so we did 11 hours. You're exhausted. We got off the plane. We go to the hotel. You know, we're in the, I'm in South Africa right now. Like, this is so weird. Like, I'm here. And I'm just, like, in a hotel. And I'm like, okay. Like, when I wake up. And it was so scary because it was during COVID. I remember, like, the only way to get to the resort was to get a negative test on the COVID. So I'm like, there's no way I just flew 18 hours for me to get a positive COVID test and then
That
not be
would've been
allowed to participate. I would have actually not been okay. Luckily, it was not the case and we were fine. And we had to drive from the...
But you had to take a COVID test before leaving. And then
before leaving,
there?
after the plane, there was many because it was like in the height of... It was in... Yeah. We were wearing masks. I had to wear a mask on the plane. It was bad. Like it was. Did
bad. You have were you coach economy or did you have more leg room for the 11 hours?
Well, luckily it wasn't a full plane, so we had a row of like 4 seats Like me and my
Yeah.
mom were lucky to get a row of 4 seats. So actually we were sitting at first and then we ran to the back and we saw like rows empty. So I took a whole row. I was like sleeping. Like I literally lay down because I was like, this is the only time I'm going to be able to sleep. So we slept, we woke up, we took the test, and we had to drive 2.5 hours to the resort from the hotel because that was like the closest hotel, and it was a pretty nice hotel. And we went 2.5 hours in the car, and like there's no way I could have drove that. Like it's not safe to like drive in a new town, like completely different than I'm used to. Like we're on the right side, or it possibly was the left. I think it was the left side, but it was like the driver's on the left side, like in Canada, but everything was different. Like you would drive on the right side, you weren't on the left. Anyways, it was very confusing. And so I couldn't. I didn't have enough time to wrap my head around it.
No, yeah.
We have another question from the internet.
What is the one
Caleb.
thing most proud of in all your accomplishments? Bonjour, Caleb. Hi, Caleb.
Hi, Caleb. I know Caleb.
Oh,
Most thing I'm proud of. That's a really hard question. I think there's a lot, honestly.
it's funny. I
I
feel
feel like everything I'm doing is like what I'm really proud of. Like I wouldn't get here without one step leading to another. Like without the Justin Bieber, I wouldn't have like, worked with AJ McLean, and like without AJ McLean, I wouldn't be like doing that and like that and it kind of, so I feel like just starting was like an accomplishment to lead me to all my other accomplishments. So I think like the biggest accomplishment was like me finding who I was and finding the confidence to post. And then once
I was going to answer that for you. I
Yeah.
wanted to answer that question.
Yeah, and now once I accomplished that, nothing else was standing in the way of anything else, right?
Yeah, of course,
I think
because
that
it
was
changed,
it.
every decision anyway. I say that all the time. There's no bad decisions. There's just decisions, and then the decisions will make time change, right? Of course, and then just happy with all the decisions that you took and all the steps to get here. But there's so much to come. Do you feel like you don't take the time to like what you're living right now? You just want the next step.
Like present, living in the present.
Yeah? Is it hard for you?
No.
No.
I like living. I think, well, the only life you really have is present. Right? The rest is just events that are to come. Like, it's like, oh, I have it, like, let's say I have a photo shoot tomorrow, and then I have it, like, an event on Friday. Like, I look forward to it. But, like, right now I'm doing this podcast. So, like, my brain isn't, like, on Friday. It's, like, on now because, you only have now. Right? And you can think of the future, but it only makes you more stressed. Like, if I think about, like, oh, God, where am I going to be in a year? It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing in 20 minutes. So, like, I'm not going to worry about a year, because in 20 minutes could be the game changer for the next year. Right?
Of course.
So it's not even...
Especially with what you lived.
Right.
I guess with what you lived, it made you lived in, it makes it easier for you to live the present moment, right?
Yeah.
Because
you have to. I mean, yeah.
You grabbed it and it made a difference.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, everything is like now. So it's the power of now. And if you're not like in now, then like the future is not known. The past is just a thought. Like it's funny. Like, I'm not gonna get all like weird, but like what the past is really just like a memory. Like there's video evidence. Like if you take a video, like if we record this live, we can watch it back, but you'll never experience this moment again that you're feeling right now. It's a memory of your feeling.
It's a memory of your feeling. You don't even know what it was really. Is just a feeling, right?
Yeah, that's it. So like technically people say the past doesn't exist, and like it doesn't, because you can't go back and be like, you can, if you have video you could, but the past doesn't really necessarily exist because everyone has their different view on the past.
Yeah,
right?
there's different feeling.
Everyone looks at this podcast differently. The viewers, myself, yourself, everyone who's watching it here live, they all see a different reality of this moment. So like the past will never be completely. Everyone has their different outcome on this podcast. What they're watching now is like their memory. They're gonna have a different memory than us.
Yeah.
So the past truly, it doesn't necessarily exist. It's everyone has their own existence of the past. So nothing's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the future too is like, it hasn't even happened yet. So everyone you can assume what's going to happen, but no one actually knows.
Yeah.
Right? So to stress or to think about like the future or the past doesn't help the now. Because it doesn't, you know what?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you look at what you did? Like, are you gonna look at this podcast?
Yes.
Are you gonna
I always
skip
go back.
it? Yeah.
No, I always go back because I don't. As much as I live in the now, I think that you have to like. I always like going back and like seeing what I did because I think like it helps you grow, right? Let's say there was. Let's say you asked a question and I slip up massively. To go back and to see why I slipped up could like be much better than not knowing why I slipped up. Going back and reliving it and being, oh God, I should have answered it better, will just make the next time I get that question, I'll answer it better.
Oh yeah. Well, I find that living in the moment and being yourself, there's no better way to answer it.
No.
In a way.
No.
You're just yourself.
That's right.
But sometimes I'm really critical of myself.
Yeah.
And then I end a podcast and I go home and I'm like, things are in my head and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this and I feel ashamed of this and I should have. And then I listen to the podcast, not necessarily when it comes out. Sometimes I have to, it's gotta.
Because you just did it. So you're like, okay, I need a break from it.
Yeah. And then I listen to it and I'm like, whoa, this is good. I was hard on myself. I'm hard on myself. And then when I look at it, I accept what it's because it's out anyway. So, it's not like I can erase it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's not like I can erase it. No. And this is me.
That's it. And it's same thing when we're recording music. It's very, I can't even tell you, like, there's times where I really think I don't sound good and I'll be like, I need to redo it. And we'll be like, hey, let's end it for the night. Like, it's obviously not the time. Like, you're tired. We've been doing this for hours. Like, your ears are probably all messed up because when you hear something so much, like, it really does mess up your hearing. And we'll leave it and we'll come back the next day and we'll listen. I'll be like, I really thought this was bad. Like, are you sure you didn't, like, use AI to like make it sound, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, this is not bad. Where did I think this was bad? But again, you hear it so much, your ears, you think you can do better, and then you listen, and you're like, it is better. Like, it's fine.
That's what Caleb says.
True.
Yeah, you know what? My son, when he composes a song, then when he goes to bed, he plays it on repeat and and he sleeps on it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
sometimes I would.
That's cool. That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a night owl.
Yeah.
So he's up all night. So I would wake up sometimes in the morning with his song blasted, and he's sleeping.
It's amazing.
On it, repeating.
Whatever helps you, I guess, get to the end goal, I guess, right? For me, after I'm done recording, I'm like, I don't want to hear my song because the more I hear it, the more I'm going to find like mistakes and like, oh boy, I can make that better. Because I'm like a really perfectionist with my music. And so the more I just like, Flav is really good at being like, it's good, move on, done. We're never ever going back to that take. It's good, you've done it, it sounds fine, trust me, it sounds good. And I can sit there and argue and say it sucks, and he'll be like, we're not doing it again. And then the take comes out and like, well, you hear it, it's fine. So it's more just like when to give up and be like, it can always be better.
That's
like,
why sometimes
it's not going to be better.
A time set.
A time is great.
Yeah, when you got a time set, so then you have to accept.
For sure.
Because you have no choice. You got to deliver right now. Because, like you say, when you put yourself into, I'm going to do it in one take. It's kind of like putting pressure on you to do it like this.
Yeah.
That's it.
It does. Depending on what it is, one take could be really stressful, for sure. Like, not for recording, one take is not even possible, I don't think, because I'd be like, no. But there's been times where we do one take for, let's say, a part of the song, and it's like, oh, done. It happened for Troubled, the bridge. We did it. He said record and first take, and we got it. And we were like, there's no way I just did that first take, and we got it. So it was really cool. That was cool.
Were you trying to do the second, like a second one for safety?
No, we didn't.
No,
No,
not even.
We don't even know what happened, but I was in the vibe. I got the mood right. I got the emotion. I got it all down, and I just went with it. And even so, I'm very good at, like, when I'm recording, I know if it's a good take or not. Like, I'm very conscious of what I'm doing at all times. So I'll be like, I record, and then I'll look at Flav and I go, nope, it's not even good. Or there's some times where I'll be like, I think that was good. Because, like, you know, as you're singing it, like, am I hitting the notes? Am I not? So I remember doing that take, and we both look at each other. At Flav, I don't know if you remember this. We both look at each other, and we're like, that's it. We just knew, because even before hearing it again, we were like, that was the take. And sometimes you just know, and when you know, those are, like, the best moments. And then there's some times where I can't hit the note for the life of me, and we just have to, like, shut off and, like, sleep on it and then come back. The next day I'll hit it. And then it's just like, it was a moment in time that I was not feeling it. And if you're not feeling it, it's not time to be recording.
Yeah, of course. I guess it's like anything. Like when you were playing sports, there's days that you come in and you're trying to play and it just doesn't work. It's just like, wow, today
People mistake that a lot of the times for excuse, where I'm like, I'm not on my game today. And they'll be like, oh, you always have an excuse if you're not playing your best. And I'm like, it's not an excuse. It's rather just like, today I didn't have a good sleep last night. So it's not an excuse. It's more just like, it's an excuse, but I don't want to be taken in the sense that I'm like, oh, I'm not good today because I didn't sleep. But it's like, you know how I play on a normal day. If I come in and I'm off, it's not because this is how I play. It's because this is how I feel. So it's the same thing in the studio. And I have to get that out of my head. Like, if I'm having a bad day on the mic, it's not because I'm a bad singer. It's just because I didn't sleep last night. Maybe I had a bad day. Maybe I'm not feeling it. It's not an excuse. But it's just like, it's the truth. I didn't sleep last night. I'm gonna not. It's singing is very physical. It takes your whole body to sing. It's not just your throat and it's your core, it's your legs, it's your feet, even the way you plant your feet, how you get notes. It's everything. And so
it's a feeling also, because
everything. Singing,
it's got it gives out so much emotion.
Yeah.
The singing, you got to have that emotion going through you to have the right vibe out of it.
Yeah, and if I'm not like in that feeling in the song,
it could be just
good.
or an argument with your
good.
family, with your friends.
Not good. Not a time to record. And like, we'll know right away if I get on the mic and I'm just tired or not feeling it. Then we're not gonna waste our time. Like, we'll just be like, it's not today, and maybe tomorrow, and we'll get it done. But take your time.
You just get a bigger day.
Yeah, just
because you're wasting especially if you would be paying per hour somebody, you're wasting good moments. Good
time, money. So luckily we have a home studio, so we can really pick up and leave whenever we want, and I think it's really helpful. It's less stressful to like have only a certain amount of time, and it's more just like, if we want to record today, we could. If not, we can record tomorrow, and we can do 12 hours, you can do an hour. It doesn't matter, so I find it's like a stress relief to like,
of course,
not have like studio time.
Yeah, at home it's perfect. You build that with your mother gave you, like, you still live with your mother?
Yeah, I live with my parents.
Yeah, you still live with your mother. So, she was really receptive on, like, taking a room in the house and doing the studio.
Yeah, my stepdad and Flav and my mom, and we have like a place in our basement with the studio. It doesn't take up much space, but it's just a little, mic and with the
That's
with
enough.
the soundproof, and that's all you need. And we do a great job. And it's fun.
So you record mostly at night too? So you're not a night person?
We like doing it at night because it's when everyone's kind of quiet. There's no one running around or in the kitchen, or so if we do it like at 8, 9 o'clock, like normally everyone's kind of doing their own thing and more quiet. So yeah, definitely when it's more quiet in the house when people are out, it's like definitely the best time.
I'm surprised that you say that you're a night owl, because when I got you and I got the approval of you coming here, I said, we could do it whenever. She's like the most energetic, and I gave a nighttime and a daytime, and I got a daytime. So
well, you know what? I think I don't know. I felt like
you're both energetic. You're always energetic.
Well, look. I know if I do a podcast at 7 and we do a 3-hour and everything, then I'm only getting home at like 10:30, 11, and then I might be tired because it does get tiring, right? So I didn't want to necessarily like I had other plans tonight, like to go live or something, and I rather like fill my day up with something to do, because then I might be sitting at home like doing other stuff. But I'm like, might as well get up and like I'm kind of on my own schedule doing my own thing, so I haven't woke up in a long time early. So I was like, I might as well, like, if I have something to do, like get up early. Like it feels like I'm more productive.
Yeah, usually you wake up at what time?
Like 9:30.
That's early.
But I felt like it was getting to me. I normally stayed on live till like 3, 4 a.m. Wow. And then I would wake up at like 11, and I felt like I was losing half my day. I felt like I could have been so much more. So instead of going to bed, I'm a night owl in the sense I go to bed at like 2, but I'll be up at 9:30. So I still get my 7 hours, and I'm still happy with it. I don't know. I started adjusting my hours because I didn't like going to bed at like 3, 4. I guess if I'm like really into something, I will.
Yeah.
But I try to like by 2:30, I'm up at 9:30, and I have my 7.5 hours. Like I'm fine.
The lives at night are way bigger.
Oh yeah, more people are home. They're done work. They're on their phone. They're about to go to bed. Then they stay up and watch me for 3 hours, and they should be going to bed because they have work. Oh, Flav, can you just pause the live?
Yeah.
Just press low battery mode. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, so people have to stay in tune with you.
Yeah.
On the social media for your new song that I heard and that I was dancing. And what's the next step after that?
Just, again, more stuff. There's always stuff to be done. So more stuff and more songs and more events and eventually tour and more... just follow me on all my platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You guys name it.
Which of all that is the best for you?
TikTok.
Like how can we encourage you the most? Where it's more good for your money-wise and for your...
Well, it's for me. Well, TikTok is definitely the place. I just have more, that's where majority of my following is okay. On TikTok. I have almost 200,000 followers, so it's definitely where I have my most following. And I just think it's where I built my community. I like going live on TikTok rather than Instagram. I have a bigger crowd. Also, TikTok allows you to reach a bigger audience because there is like a For You page. So it kind of allows anyone who sees it to come on. Instagram just is exclusively for your followers. They don't have like a page where people can find you. So it becomes less like you're going live for your followers. Here, I probably gained thousands of followers just going live, because anyone can jump in.
Mm-hmm. So if they want to encourage you, it's the best to go on your live on TikTok and send you gifts there.
You can send gifts. You can like the screen. You can just be part of the community. You could just I mean, there's endless things you can do to support. You could follow me on my platforms. You can join the newsletter on my website. We're looking into. You can subscribe to my channel on using TikTok, on anywhere, really, anywhere where you can watch my stuff and comment and just support like the screen.
Yeah, go everywhere.
Yeah.
And for us too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're on
give us a little
TikTok.
follow.
I think we're on TikTok, no?
Yeah, us too. We're on TikTok. I don't do the 3 hours though. Live. You see, I just did one.
You just did one. There you go.
I just did one.
Yeah, there you go. So you did.
You know what, Jordyn? You were so generous of your time and everything that you told us. I feel like we're now friends.
Aw, besties.
You have to come
Sure.
back.
I got it. Yeah, you let me know when.
You have
And
to
I would
come
love
back,
to.
of course.
I'd love to.
You know, we do lives once in a while, but in clubs every 2 weeks. But I have to set her up with other English-speaking people. That would be the thing. But
Yeah.
I will have to work that out because
Yeah.
it's always French people.
No, or French. I mean, I'm not that bad in French. I think it's like kind of singing where I block myself from thinking I'm good at stuff. But I mean, I can understand French pretty well. Like I understood everything you were saying. It's just more of the speaking where I might have trouble because it's not in my day to day. So
it's just a
finding the
confidence.
words right.
It's just a confidence thing because I'm sure if you have no choice,
You
you're
kind
in
of
front
have
of
no choice.
You have no choice, right? Like I did today.
And we always like to take the guests when they come to the show and bring them a bit out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you to sing in French. Oh,
Oh God. It's going like toi, plus moi, plus eux, plus si c'est qui le veut. You know what I'm saying? Or pa ute, papa ute, papa ute.
could be working.
J'ai reconnu la toune. Aïe, aïe, hein? J'ai reconnu la toune.
Oui,
Tout le monde est surpris dans le
mais-
studio.
Oui, mais c'est français alors.
Oui, c'est ça, mais tu sais, j'écoute, tu sais, nous autres, on écoute la radio avec de la musique
Oui.
anglaise pareil, là. Tu sais, je veux dire, tu sais, on s'entend, pop music, c'est anglais, là. Tu sais, je veux dire, il y en a en français, mais sont rares, là. Il y a juste Canuel Loriot qui est bon.
Je ne sais pas comme tous les artistes français, mais j'essaie un
C'est
peu.
lui, c'est lui.
Ah, c'est
That's-
ça! Ah! Mais
Ben oui, mais t'écouteras. De toute façon, peut-être que tu vas aimer.
oui.
Mais moi, je pense que oui, là, parce que c'est quand même du pop. Mais, tu sais, happy music. I like happy music. So you're
Yeah.
doing happy music, so it makes my day.
Oh,
That's
I
what
love
I
that.
like.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. So
Thank you, everybody.
we're all in love right now.
Aw.
Merci à Jordyn Sugar. Puis
Thank
je vous rappelle, comme je vous rappelle, de vous abonner à toutes nos plateformes pour ceux qui sont dans le live en ce moment. On s'abonne partout. Tout. Puis on se rappelle que le 16 novembre, on a un live devant public au Poutine Bar à Laval. Puis on va recevoir 2 No Limit, 2 mère-fille, ainsi que David Paré. Ouh! Ça va chauffer.
Demain,
Oh!
Alexis Barrière,
Oui.
champion du Québec, catégorie poids lourd. Ouh!
En boxe. La boxe demain, de la boxe. Donc, allez voir, allez écouter Jordyn Sugar et on se retrouve même heure. Non. Pas même heure. Attends une minute. Même 7. Non. Oui. Même 7. Avec un différent invité. Puis on va se retrouver dans un réseau près de chez vous.
Merci beaucoup.